Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Talk Radio. We'll get you talking. Talk Radio.
Hey, thank you, George. Cracking show tonight. Adam Nimoy, director of For the Love of Spock, is going to be on in a few minutes. Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Late Night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Welcome to the most ill-prepared radio show. Hang on a minute, let me find a song and then we'll settle down and then we'll get our guest on, and don't worry, we know what we're doing. We want... Oh, dearie me! You would have thought we'd only had 90 seconds to hot seat a studio, wouldn't you? Here we go. So computer's on. This should play. Play song. Beautiful.
In the middle of the earth, in the land of Shire, lives a brave little hobbit whom we all admire. With his long wooden pipe, fuzzy woolly toes, he lives in a hobbit hole and everybody knows him. Bilbo Baggins, he's only 3 feet tall. Bilbo Baggins, the bravest little hobbit of them all. Hobbits are peace-loving folks, you know. They're never in a hurry and they take things slow. They don't like to travel away from home. They just like to eat and be left alone. But one day Bilbo was asked to go on a big adventure to the caves below to help some dwarves get back their gold that was stolen by a dragon in the days of old. Bilbo Baggins is only 3 feet tall. Bilbo Baggins, the bravest little hobbit of them all. Well, he fought with the goblins. He battled a troll. He riddled with Gollum. A magic ring he stole. He was chased by wolves, lost in the forest, escaped in a barrel from the Elf King's halls. Bilbo Baggins, the bravest little hobbit of them all. Now he's back in his home in the land of Shire, that brave little hobbit whom we all admire, just sitting on a treasure of silver and gold, puffing on his pipe in his hobbit hole. Bilbo Baggins, he's only 3 feet tall. Bilbo Baggins, the bravest little hobbit of them all.
Oh, man! Bilbo Baggins. I love it. For years, everyone thought that only William Shatner from the cast of Star Trek made records. No. Leonard Nimoy had loads of albums out in the 60s. And I've always been fascinated with Leonard Nimoy, partly because I enjoyed Star Trek growing up as a kid, partly because I saw that really weird and very, very dark remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers from the 70s with him and Donald Sutherland in it. It's a really bleak film. And also because I'm a huge fan of a TV series called Fringe. Wonderful sci-fi series that kind of slipped under the radar in this country. And Leonard Nimoy was in it as this wonderful, wizened, old, eccentric scientist who, spoiler alert, turns out to be a bad dude. And it's nice seeing Leonard playing the bad dude. Anyway, months and months ago, I saw a trailer for a film called For the Love of Spock. I saw it on Facebook, and I thought, oh, yeah. Oh, yes. I'm going to have me some of that. That looks good. And I forgot about it. Completely forgot about it. And I was on Netflix the other night, and I could see that they put some new stuff on. I was like, right, well, let's have a little look and see what new stuff they've got. Lo and behold, For the Love of Spock rocked up. And I sat and watched it, and it's a couple of hours, and it's an absolute joy. And it is on Netflix, although it's also on DVD. And if you're thinking of Christmas presents, this would be an absolute corker. It is absolutely stunning. And for me, there are 3 stories, but I'm so thrilled. This is the joy of the 21st century. I'm watching the film, and as I'm getting to the end, I looked up the film's director on Twitter, Adam Nimoy, Leonard's son. And I messaged him and said, really enjoying the film. Do you fancy coming on my show and talking about it? Adam sent me a blank reply, which I took as a positive sign that he was maybe interested. I'm so thrilled that joining us now from California, it's Adam Nimoy. Good evening, Adam.
Hello, good evening, Ian.
It's so nice to talk to you. And first of all, thank you so much for what is an absolutely stunning film. I thought it was beautiful. Well done.
Thank you so much. We worked very hard on it. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
What was because I know that you started it with your dad before he passed away. What was the conversation that you had with him about how it was going to go?
Well, the conversation was that we were aware that we were coming up on 50 years of Star Trek, and that I thought it would be a good idea to collaborate together to create something to celebrate those 50 years of Spock in particular, and that we should be making a documentary solely about Spock together, and it was something he was very enthusiastic about doing.
Did he, were there periods in his life when he considered Spock to be kind of a weight around his neck? I know his autobiography was called I Am Spock, but initially it was called I Am Not Spock, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically a kind of a misunderstanding because he mistitled his first autobiography in the mid-'70s, I Am Not Spock, and people thought that, the fans thought that he was trying to distance himself from the character and that it was sort of limiting him in his career, which really wasn't the case. He was simply trying to point out that there's so many people, so many fans who confuse him with Spock. Yeah. He was trying to clarify that he's not from Vulcan, he's from Boston. Because people, we get confused. I get confused with my favorite characters, and he was trying to simply differentiate himself as an actor playing the role, not in any way dissing Spock or putting him down or even complaining about being limited by the role of Spock. But and he has apologized, by the way, for mistitling his book. He had apologized the rest of his professional career for the misunderstanding.
There's one. I mean, there's so many wonderful scenes, and I'm not going to, spoil all of them. But one of the scenes we talked about this film yesterday on the show, and someone called in and they picked a bit that I thought was absolutely magical. There's that wonderful outtake from Star Trek, the original series, when Spock is sat in the captain's chair and he asks for something, and the whole crew pull a prank on him, and the doors behind him open, and you walk out as I'm guessing 8 years old. You walk out dressed as Spock with the ears, with the suit on and everything, and hand him whatever it is he's asked for. And it was just such a beautiful moment. And it was so funny and charming. It must have been amazing being on the Star Trek set as a kid and watching all this magic happen.
Yeah, I mean, I was very much, I was 9 years old at the time and very aware of what they were doing. I was a big TV, kid consumer and watching Lost in Space, which came out a year earlier. And I loved it. Right away, I was so taken with the show and the sets and the costume, the makeup, the wardrobe, what Dad was doing. I really tried to... I've maintained ever since that I really am the first Trekkie or Trekker, as it were, because I was there on the set. That piece of film was shot in July of '66. This is almost 2 months before the show even aired.
Wow. Fantastic.
So, I love the experience. I was old enough to really appreciate it, and I'm really grateful that I had that experience.
What I enjoyed about your film, for me, Adam, there are kind of 3 stories going on. There's the story of Spock from its creation with Gene Roddenberry and the series, and then the movies and all of that. There's the story of Leonard Nimoy, his kind of background and his trials and tribulations. But for me, as someone who had a difficult relationship with my dad, who's now passed away, the third story, the story between you and your dad, and it wasn't an easy relationship, was it? And you kind of don't shy away from that. I was impressed with the honesty you had about the difficulties that you and Leonard had communicating.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're right. The movie now in its current form is these three stories at work. When I was working on the film with my dad, he made it very clear he wanted it to be all about Spock from beginning to end, because this was not the Leonard Nimoy show. He was not trying to blow his own horn. He was a man of great humility, and he was going to help me produce it and even maybe narrate it, and it was all going to be about Spock. But after he passed away, in the spring of last year, the outpouring of emotion, not only for the loss of Spock, but the loss of this great artist, Leonard Nimoy, made it clear that I needed to include his life and legacy as well. And as we continued into production on the film, more and more people came out and said, I needed to include my own story, my own perspective, because I was there at the beginning, and that would make the story unique. So I was willing to do that, because we had ended on a very good note in our relationship. We had reconciled. We were very close. Otherwise, I might not have really gone into the ups and downs of being his son. But the issue really became, how much do we tell? And for that, I had to rely a lot on our production staff and friends and family in the industry who could help me gauge, because it's not a tell-all. It is not Keeping Up with the Kardashians. It's not reality TV. But at the same time, it is an honest account, I think, to the extent that we tell it, of my relationship with my dad.
And that, I think, because there might be some people go, I don't want to watch a film about Spock. But I'm trying to get across the humanity that is in this film. It isn't just about a science fiction series. There is this, I mean, I love it. He got annoyed because you became a deadhead, following the Grateful Dead around.
That was definitely a part of my my upbringing in the early 70s when I was a teen, and on my own a lot. My dad was simply not around; he was working so much. So I'm kind of growing up under the watchful eye of my mother, who was very lenient, and I was oftentimes taking off and running around, mostly the state of California, chasing the Grateful Dead. And which was fine. It was fun. I was still doing well in school. But it's just that lifestyle and the rebelliousness of it brought me into a conflict with my dad when he started to spend more time at home and focus more on what was happening at home.
How creepy is that version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers? That is a dark film.
Yeah, it is a dark film. I just think it's excellent. The remake, it's Philip Kaufman who did The Right Stuff. He's just a fabulous filmmaker, and I love it. I love Donald Sutherland is in it, and Brooke Adams, Jeff Goldblum, Veronica Cartwright, and it's just a fabulous, crafted reworking of the original, feature. And I was there for a lot of it because I was at school in Berkeley, California, which is just across the bay from San Francisco, where it was shot. So. It was a great experience to see it coming together. I think Dad loved the experience of working with those actors and working with Phil Kaufman. It is dark. It is sort of cynical, but it's just so well done.
I saw that as a kid, Adam.
I must have
been about 12 when I saw that, and it scared the crap out of me. I mean, it's just wonderful. And it was the first time, I think, that I'd seen your father out of the Spock character, and it was a revelation, and it shouldn't be, but we sit and watch TV and we think that the people on the screen are those people. Of what a broad range of characters he could play, and I know he did lots of theatre as well in the States, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. During that decade, he had done about 12 plays. All over the U.S., and it was a really challenging time for him, and he really kind of grew into his own as an artist, and he loved being in live theater. He really was kind of stretching his acting ability, and moving on from Spock and the roles he played in Mission Impossible, the TV series, for 2 years.
Yeah.
It was great to travel around during the summer with him and watch him perform. He was just fabulous.
I've just had a text, Adam. The way this works, I've got a screen and people can text in while I'm talking, and they're saying, is it true that it's Leonard Nimoy driving the car in the Bangles video of Liverpool? I don't remember that.
Yeah, in fact, it is true. The video was directed by Susanna Haas, is in the Bangles, and she's an old family friend. Her mother was directing the video, and her mother and her parents and my parents were very good friends in the late 50s, early 60s, and then they asked if he would participate in this video, and he said yes.
It must have been tough as a kid, though, because he became very, very famous. You know, went from being a jobbing actor to being, you know, in everybody's households in America and around the world, you know, kind of from episode 1 of Star Trek. Just at a really important age for you. You mentioned you were 9 years old, and I get the impression from the film that you and your sister... you felt a little bit left out. You kind of got pushed to the sideline, and the career took over. You talk about that your family time at the weekends was helping him answer his fan mail.
Right. Yeah. Well. Yeah. I mean, that's just kind of an occupational hazard. It's true of anybody who is in a career that is so demanding. I mean, when you're making a TV show and you have so much makeup, you're on the set from 6:30 in the morning until 7 o'clock at night. It's a 12-hour day, sometimes longer. So it's just a part of you know, the job, and it's something that we had to adjust our lives to. But it is something that we have no remorse about. We have no regret about. We would do it again, all over again, if given the choice. And the good news is that the last few years of my father's, the last 5 years, really, he moved everything around. He changed everything around. His priorities were much different. His family was number one. And so we were really lucky to have that part of him and the closeness and the time with him. And the ability for me and him to reconcile one another. So everything worked out well in the end for us.
Yeah, it is the ending of that story. That's a strange phrase when you're talking about people's lives. But there, and I'm not going to spoil too much of the film, but there are some incredibly sad moments, or one particular sad moment when you lose your wife. That seemed to be the key that unlocks the relationship between you and your father again, and he suddenly, what I get from the film, he suddenly became much more approachable and became a dad again.
Yeah, well, there was a series of events that led to the reconciliation. First and foremost was that we both decided to go into recovery, and from drugs and alcohol. That was a big factor in us reconciling with one another. And it kind of set the stage, you know, and then my mother's passing happened in 2011, and he was very supportive and very loving and very helpful during that period. And shortly thereafter, yes, my wife was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and my father was very much there for me and my best friend during a very difficult period, and I really needed him and relied on him, and he was there.
Just going back one little bit, sorry. Is it true that a teen magazine, instead of printing the Leonard Nimoy or the Star Trek fan club address, they gave your home address?
That is true.
Love it.
Yeah, we got a copy of this magazine, I remember distinctly, and we were reading it in horror. As we saw our home address printed in it was a very popular magazine, 16 magazine, very popular among us kids, to find out what was going on with all our TV stars and music stars and, you know, and movie stars. It was just a great magazine, and there was our home address. And then we had to deal with the mail problem and the fans coming by.
I love it. And this film is such a joy because it's full of delicious little, you know, bits like that, and it's great. One thing that really grabbed me, and it's kind of inspired me. When my boys are nearly 7 and 5, and when they're a bit older, I'm going to do this. That letter he wrote you in, was it 1972, when I think you were kind of estranged, or the estrangement was beginning, and he writes this very mature letter trying to explain his relationship with his dad and how that might impact on his relationship with you.
Right. Yeah.
That's a great letter to have, and I imagine a brave letter to include in the film, and a brave letter for a dad to write as well.
Well, the interesting thing about the letter, Ian, it was written in '73 when I was 17,
Right.
and it was during this period when we were having so much trouble as a teenager when I was, running around chasing the Grateful Dead. But the interesting thing about the letter was I didn't know it existed until December, until a year ago. I found it.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had no idea. I didn't remember it at all. I just was going through a bunch of old letters.
Yeah.
That I had collected, and that letter popped out, and it was so fortuitous that it came at the right time, and it's important to the film because it gives his perspective on our relationship, because I don't have that because I don't have him.
Yeah.
So it gives voice to his point of view of what was going on with us, and I think it's a very powerful element of the film.
One of the things I like is a lot of the interviews, people are interviewing, because obviously you're directing it and you're asking the questions, and sometimes when you watch talking heads about people that have passed, there's a little element of coldness, but a lot of them say your dad. They refer to him as your dad. Well, when I first met your dad, and your dad did this, and it just adds a real humanity to the film. And boy, oh boy, Adam, there are some shots in there where you don't half look like him.
Oh, well, yeah, I hope so.
I mean, really.
We were very lucky, with the interviews. I mean, everybody wanted to participate, and we just got. I think we got a lot of great material from people who really helped sustain the film. It's the original cast from Star Trek, the new cast from Star Trek, and family and friends. And I think we've just got really lucky with the elements with this film. I had a very good production staff helping me put it together. A lot of things to go through, a lot of material. But we worked really hard on it, and the reaction seems to be so good. But I think a lot of it is these interviews that we had.
Yeah. Listen, it's on Netflix. People can watch it on Netflix. But Christmas is coming up, and I'm just thinking, if it's out on DVD. What are the extras on the DVD, Adam? What other bits will we see that we can't get on Netflix?
There's a lot of extras. There's behind the scenes of my appearance on Big Bang Theory from last year. There is a short documentary I made with my dad on his life in Boston, growing up in Boston, Massachusetts. There is a little trivia quiz show from Jason Alexander from Seinfeld, because he's a Star Trek aficionado.
Yeah.
You can get all the extras on that. You get the extras on an iTunes download if you get iTunes there.
Yeah.
It's on Blu-ray. It's on DVD. If people need information on how to find it, we have a website for theloveofspock.com. They can find us, or our Facebook page. We're out there, and there's a lot of great extras to be had with the film, and I'm just hoping more people in the UK enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tweet all those links, Adam. Honestly, mate, it is such a. I was laughing. I had a few tears and a few bits. It's such an enjoyable movie. What next for you, Adam? What's the next project?
Well, we're actually with the same production company here in Hollywood, and we're working on a Deep Space Nine documentary.
Beautiful.
Deep Space is the second spin-off of the Star Trek series. It went on for 7 years, and as we've been traveling around the world, really with the For the Love of Spock film, we've become very aware of the popularity of Deep Space Nine. I've met a lot of people on the cast who are lovely, really wonderful people, and there seems to be a hunger and desire for more films related to Star Trek, so that's where our focus is at the moment.
Adam, thank you again for the film. I wish you the very best of luck with that and all your future projects. Have a lovely Christmas, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome, Ian. Thank you so much for inviting me, and happy holidays to you. Live long and prosper to you and all your fans.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you, Adam. What a nice bloke. Honestly, I cannot rave about that film enough. It's just such a joy. Such a joy. If you're a fan of Star Trek or sci-fi, you'll love it. But if you're a fan, it's not all about that. If you're a fan of just good stories, man, it's incredible. And if you had a screwed up relationship with your dad like I did, then you'll enjoy it as well, because it's all in there. And this letter that he wrote to Adam in about 1972, 73, oh, it's wonderful. I just thought, Adam, I should let you know how difficult what my relationship with my father was like. I really recommend it. It's on Netflix. You can watch it for free. But if you're thinking of a Christmas present for someone, get the DVD or the Blu-ray of that. Honestly, it's such a good film. Such a good film. Wasn't he nice? And he said, "Live long and prosper" at the end. All right, onwards and upwards, dear listener. The show continues. 0344 499 1000. 0344 499 1000 is the phone number. Late nights with Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Ed, what are you doing? Can't hear you. That microphone is on.
Where are you to? There we go.
No, I can't hear you. No, go into that one.
Hello,
there we go. Okay. So what is going on here? Wagwan. Now you've turned him off, Kath. Put that one back on. You put in. No, there.
Hello.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yes.
So what I'm trying to do?
Yes.
Is we're trying to get the Facebook live stream going.
Yes.
But we're doing
through the Facebook listeners Talk Radio listeners page.
Yeah.
We thought it'd be nice for those guys to have some of this.
Sharing the love and all that.
But you've muffed up.
Well, my phone has. It's getting to that point where my phone's probably about to die and it's time for a new one.
You're not going to do a CeeLo Green, are you? And by that I mean have the phone explode, not the other thing.
It depends if the insurance company's listening. No, I wouldn't suggest anything like that.
Okie dokie. Well, could you hurry up and do it?
I'm dealing with it.
Okay. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, you're more than welcome to. It's a phone-in show. Unlike any other phone-in show, in that you can call in about absolutely anything you want, dear listener. Someone just phoned in to complain they got cut off yesterday. What? I mean, everyone gets cut off at some point. Catherine tried to explain it to me. I didn't understand it. So if you want to give us a call, you're more than welcome to. 0344 499 1000. Have you got that audio, Catherine, bleeped? You're doing it now. There's a brilliant... Well, there are two videos that have gone viral recently. One is, and we'll play both of them throughout the night. One is the gentlemen who are getting kicked off a Delta Airways flight. Because they said something in a foreign word. We'll play that later because it's incredible. The other one is hilarious. It's a little bit rude. I'll warn you that. It's a little bit rude. It's a fella being told by the police to turn his Christmas lights off. Have you seen it, Ed?
Yeah.
You're so professional. You're nodding.
I was in my auto mode.
We're listening this. If you're in my studio, you gotta speak. It's absolutely brilliant. It is. The police go round to a gentleman's house and demand he takes down some external Christmas lights. If you've not seen it, it's brilliant. If we were the other place, we'd put it on our website and drive everyone there. But we're not the other place. So instead, we're going to play you the audio a bit later on. But there's one bad swear in it. So we're going to bleep the bad swear. And the rest we think we can just about get away with. 0344 499 1000. Jamie!
All right, mate.
Hello, Jamie.
I've just come through to the show.
Yes?
I haven't been listening, but I usually ring on a happy note.
Yes.
But I thought I'd ring in to talk about stopping drinking.
Oh, yeah, go
on. You've mentioned earlier on previous shows about people using medication to stop drinking.
Yes.
I use medications to stop drinking, and it worked pretty successfully.
Right. But did you start drinking again?
I did start drinking again.
Right. So it didn't work brilliantly, did it?
Oh, no, it did completely work brilliantly. I started drinking again in a controlled manner.
Oh, yeah.
But, sorry, I'm a bit nervous.
Don't be nervous, man. Go on. I'll shut up. You tell me what you want to tell me. Go on, I'll shut up.
I just thought, I remember a guy calling in called Lee. Sorry.
Yes.
Do you remember Lee? And he would always say that he didn't have any reason to stop drinking.
I vaguely remember. I do get a little bit hazy with all the different callers, but go on. Let's assume I do. Yeah.
Well, I just thought there was a drug called Camprazole.
Yeah.
And I took that, and I had weekly meetings with a key worker.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really, really successful. I was prescribed it for 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
And then after the 3 months, I decided to have controlled drinking, as they say. But I just thought I'd let you and your listeners know.
How long have you been doing the controlled drinking for?
2 months. So I'd stopped drinking for 6 months.
Yeah.
And then
and how many times you've been completely bladdered on the controlled drinking?
about twice.
Wow, only twice in 8 weeks?
Yeah.
Did you intend to get completely bladdered?
Yeah.
That was your intention?
Yeah.
Why did you intend to do that when you know that in the past... And I'm just asking. You don't have to answer.
No, that's fine.
Why did you intend to get completely drunk when you know in the past you've had issues with alcohol? Do you think you're fixed now? Because
I felt comfortable with why I was doing it.
Right. Okay.
Because the 2 times were just going out on the mess with a family. Sorry.
Right.
And want to carry on in the morning.
Yeah.
And I just knew the consequences. I identified the consequences in the morning when, I knew that wasn't the kind of right thing to do. I think I think personally the drugs didn't really have that much to do with it, and it was the counselling.
Right.
But those options are open to everybody.
Yeah, those options are there. How old are you, Jamie?
33.
Right. Well, I hope it's worked.
Yeah, I mean, and if people don't want to stick to it, those options are there for it's recovery. There's recovery places in every borough and around England, and they're really, really, really great. And the counselling services that people provide are second to none. And if you fall off the wagon or whatever, people aren't.
Well, imagine if there was a way where you didn't fall off the wagon.
Yeah, I mean, that would be great as well. But
there is, though.
Yeah.
There is a way to do it without falling off the wagon.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah. I tell you what, Jamie, I hope that I hope you're right and that you're fixed. But there's a little bit of me that's just, I'm a bit cynical about these drugs to stop drinking. I'm a little bit cynical about them because of...
Well, so was I. And, and personally, I don't think it is the drugs.
Right.
I think it was the counselling that was the main thing. But they're there just as, I guess, as a bit of a placebo. But at the same time...
Well, those drugs aren't the drugs aren't as a placebo. Those drugs are drugs. They're there to stop you drinking. What is it? If you start drinking, you puke up. Are they the drugs?
No. They offer 3 different types, and one is that which I can't remember what the name of that drug is, but that's a horrendous one. I think that's for kind of street drinking level, or people that are on like heavy spirits dependency. But the one that I was on was just to get away. Sorry, I said that in the beginning. The one that I was taking was just to take away cravings.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen. I hope it's worked.
Well, yeah. I mean, so far.
Well, good.
But I just thought I'd let
Nice
ring in
one.
and let people on your show know.
Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate that a lot, mate. Nice one. Have a nice Christmas.
See you, mate.
Ta-ta. Good luck to him. Let's hope that's worked, guys. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. I've been saying this all week, and the last two shows, we've had the busiest shows that we've had for ages. But, as we get closer to Christmas, the number of calls drop off, guys. It is a known phenomenon. Dun, 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 dun. Particularly this week, because everybody will be out at Christmas parties and whatnot. So, if you've ever considered calling in, now would be an excellent time to call in. Why? Well, we ain't got no calls. And we might not get any calls for the rest of the show. Or even the rest of the week. Oh, no. I've still got one more golden ticket to give away, which we can put up for grabs this evening if you want to come to the New Year's Eve show, Saturday, the 31st of December. 9 till 1 o'clock. Got to be able to make your own way here. There won't be any cabs. It's New Year's Eve in London. Then you can phone up. You can have it. It's as simple as that. Otherwise, we'll give it away on the Devil's Network Twitter. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Late Nights with Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Late Night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give me a call. Eben!
Hi, Ian.
Hey, Eben, how you doing?
Hi, good, thanks.
I'm going to speak to my team. Team, can I get some tissues, please? I need to blow my nose. I've got this stinking cold, Eben, and it is doing my nutting.
I had a cold 2 weeks ago.
Hey, God, when are they going to find a cure? Stop looking for cures for other diseases. We want a cure for the cold, guys. That's what we want. But I don't think we're ever going to get one.
I've called in about... I watched a film tonight.
Oh, yes.
Which was very interesting.
Was it an adult
film?
film?
It was a documentary.
Oh.
No. It was my Scientology movie.
Oh, the Louis Theroux thing?
Yeah.
What did you make of it?
It was very interesting, but very thought-provoking.
Yes. It provokes your thoughts.
Yeah.
I like Louis Theroux. My favourite bit in it, though, was the bit when he's in that motel and then that woman in the bikini comes in.
Yeah.
That was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I liked it. I did enjoy it a lot, and I think Louis Theroux is brilliant. Who am I to criticise one of the greatest documentary makers of our time? But, I did... It became apparent quite early on that he hadn't got anywhere close to the Scientologists. So it felt to me that there was a considerable, a significant amount of padding in the film.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I didn't really like all the reconstructions and all that bit.
I only got to hear about it because one of my favourite producers did it, Simon Chen.
Simon Chen?
Yeah, he was the producer of the film.
I don't know him. What else has he done?
Searching for Sugar Man.
Oh, Sugar Man! It's a great film, that.
Because I actually met him on a course.
Oh, did you really?
And we had a Q&A on Searching for Sugar Man.
No! For those who don't know, Searching for Sugar Man, right, there's this guy, and about 1968, he recorded these couple of albums, and they didn't sell. Go and watch the film yourselves, you slackers. You absolute slackers. Yeah, I watched Sugar Man is a masterpiece. And I watched documentaries like that, and I don't know how people do it. There's so much work involved. And I've got all these ideas for documentaries and films and stuff, and then I just think, it's too much hard work.
And he was saying how most of it was shot on his iPhone because he was running out of his budget. And
which one? Sugar Man was shot on an iPhone?
Yeah, Sugar Man.
Shot on an iPhone?
Yeah.
Do you know, that rings a bell. I think I'd read that before, actually. Did it make you sick? Did it make you sick? Talented people. What are we going to do with them? Chuck them off a cliff. All talented people, let's chuck them off a cliff. Oh, no, hang on. In that case, we'll just be left with angry podcasters. No! Let's keep the talented people, for crying out loud. We need as much talent and as much luck and as much love. Now, Eben.
Yeah?
You are one of the golden ticket holders.
Yes.
You are coming to the New Year's Eve show.
Yeah.
Don't forget, there won't be any cabs, guys. I keep telling people, I know it's London, but it'll be 1 o'clock on New Year's Day. There will not be any cabs around.
I think Ubers are going.
Yeah, all right, Eben, good luck with that. But when me and Kath drive off and your Uber says it'll be an hour and 40 minutes, good luck.
I was actually going to book it like in a week's advance, then...
I like your style. Uber, I don't know. Uber's a new thing, so it might be all right with Uber. I don't know. I just know it'll be expensive and it'll be tricky. But, what I'm going to do, the only plan I've got for the show so far, is I'm going to bring in a crappy little record player that I can plug... it's got a socket at the front, so I can plug where I normally plug my computer in. I'm going to plug my record player in. And I am going to ask, and this might be difficult for you because you're a young man, tough, deal with it. I'm going to ask everybody who's coming in to bring a record that means something to them. And it's got to be a record, and it can't be an MP3, and it can't be a CD.
I could have a rummage through a pile of my dad's record collection.
Beautiful, yeah. You've got to bring a record that means something to you.
He's got a pile of Frank Zappa records.
Oh, yeah. Well, mate, I'm not going to influence you. You decide what you want to bring, my friend, and we will play some of it on the New Year's Eve show. How's about them apples?
That sounds great.
Nice one, Eben. Thank you, mate. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Have we got that audio? Have we got it? Where have you sent it? You need to... I can't read your lips. Why don't you just come on the microphone and tell me, because...
Email.
You've emailed it to me. Oh, la la, c'est bon. Here we go. All right. Well, I tell you what, we'll do it after 11. Because it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. The coppers go round. You might have seen the clip on YouTube, but it warrants a play on the radio where the coppers go around and have a go at this bloke for having a Christmas decorations that that people have complained about. It's absolutely brilliant. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, you're more than welcome. You can also watch us this evening. We're streaming on Facebook, but we're streaming on the Talk Radio listeners page run by a bloke called Lee, who's an all-round good egg. I think we got it up and running. It's kind of an experiment. Normally when we stream on Facebook, we've got a very flash camera that's stuck to a microphone with a bit of gaffer. But this we're having to stream on my phone. So it's kind of an... Ed, you've got to turn it off! I've not logged into the Wi-Fi! My data! My data! Oh, flipping it. I'm glad I remembered that. I knew I was talking for a reason. Oh, my data!
Turn it off. I'll set up another one.
My data! My data! That's my data gone, isn't it? That's all my data. On GiftGaff, isn't it? So, the data, don't worry, I'll all my data has disappeared as a direct result of that. Well, these things happen. These things happen. 0344 499 1000. Hey, I saw a friend of mine today, a guy who I used to work with at the other place. And I've not seen him for over a year because we've not... There we go, Ed. I've logged in. If you want to rig it up again, then you can rig it up again because that's all good now. My mate Justin, who I used to work with at the other place, the J-Dog. And we haven't seen each other since I left the other place. So it's over a year ago. It's 13 months since I've seen him. And... we met, and the reason we've not seen, we've spoken a bit on the phone and texted each other a bit. Like we were never, close friends, but we were pals, and we just hadn't arranged to meet before because it's difficult, isn't it? When you leave a job with a cloud over you, kind of go acknowledging people from that place, it can be a little... Are you doing it on there now? So you've used up all my data for nothing?
No, we've figured out a way to do it now.
I'm going to figure out a way to put my boot up your arse in a minute.
Can I defer that to Lee, that boot to Lee?
Yes, of course, you can go and... Yeah, please do. All my data. All my data. My fault for being an absolute idiot. Absolute idiot. But it's when you leave a place... that and you leave it under a cloud, it can be hard to kind of keep in touch with your friends there. So we kind of didn't see each other. And then last week, Dealey sent me a text saying, do you fancy meeting up for a burger before Christmas? Boom. I was in. And so we met in the delightful town of Uxbridge. Of all places, Uxbridge. There's a place. It's like Dealey described it brilliantly. It's like Luton with an underground stop in it. It really is. It really is a strange place. But it was kind of midway between the two of us. So we went and did that. And we had some delicious burgers. And there's me trying to lose weight. And we went and had these you get all these, like Ponzi burger places now, don't you? With the posh burger places. I mean, these were served on a plate, so that was something. But you get all these posh burger places. I'm not talking Five Guys. I've never been in Five Guys. But, you get these fancy burger places, and they do all kind of, just... when did it become a thing to put a burger in a brioche? Who is that? What's wrong with just a bap? Well, why can't you just have a burger in a bap? What's the problem with that? And you get your milkshakes and your malts and all of that kind of stuff. So we just sat there and totally pigged out for an hour and a half. I mean, massively. And then we went to pay, and the woman said, oh, no, the machine's broken. So... it's cash only. We didn't have any cash. And we said, well, this is slightly awkward as we haven't got any money. And she kind of looked at us suspiciously, because we did look... I mean, Justin does look like a very suspicious gentleman. But we managed to charm her into letting us go and get some cash. So it was all very nice. And then we popped off to Balcony Shirts, the home of the ironic T-shirt, and bullied Scott. Anyway, dear listener, 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, if you don't want to give us a call, it's all groovy, man. It's all groovy. We'll just sit here and witter away about whatever takes our fancy, shall we? Sorry for sniffing. I'm still flirting with this idea of knocking Twitter on the head, because... I was talking yesterday about there was a load of abuse being directed to Brendan Cox, the widower of Joe Cox, on Twitter. And there's abuse. I mean, I'm getting abuse on there from a couple of people. The gentleman that phoned in pretending to be Andy, a bloke called Alex, and somebody else. And the abuse is kind of relentless. Andy's not, but Alex isn't bothering me in the slightest. Actually, I find it quite funny. But there's just so much abuse on there. And maybe it's me. Maybe I'm an abuse magnet, because different people have different experiences with it. Different people have positive experiences. I mean, I got in touch with Adam Nimoy on there, so there's a bonus. But I've deleted all my tweets, most of them. Most of them are gone. And I'm trying to only post positive things on there. But enough difficult, isn't it? It's really difficult to just post positive things on it. Now, of course, that's not Twitter's fault necessarily. That a lot of that is down to me. A lot of that is my, faulty wiring in my brain, or my reaction to what's going on around me. I don't know, but I would love to be able to get rid of it. Just say thank you, goodbye. Why am I still on there? I'll tell you why I'm still on there. I'm still on there because I'm on a newish radio show, on a newish radio station. And that with the click of a button, I can tell 51,000 people that my show is on, what time my show is on, and if I'm doing live shows, where they can get tickets to see the live shows. So it's all, you know, it's kind of handy for that, but yeah, I don't know. Does the meanness outweigh the positivity of Twitter? And the attacks on Brendan Cox are still going on today. Brendan Cox, his wife got murdered 6 months ago, yeah? You know? He's about to have his first Christmas, him and his kids, without his missus. That guy, yeah, that guy. And, yet people feel quite comfortable to go on there and say mean things. I mean, people on there say mean things about me, about my mental health, and calling me cuckoo and mad and, you know, all of that stuff. And do we just hand it over to the... I don't like the term alt-right. I prefer the term arseholes. Do we just hand it over to the arseholes and let them have it as their playground? I don't know. And I keep... I mean, to bore you with this, and Dana and John, I'll come to you in a bit, and Alan, I'll come to you after the news. And I don't know why I'm sharing this stuff with you. I'm probably sharing it with you so I can try and get a little bit of clarity myself about what I want to do with it and how I want to deal with it. It's very strange. I know lots of you don't use Twitter, so all of this is meaningless to you, huh? Anyway, another 2 hours to go, dear listener. Do you want to call in? We've got Dana, we've got John, we've got Alan. And you could join that unholy roll call of names. 0344 499 1000. 0344 499 1000. Late nights with Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB. Access all radios.
Talk Radio. Give it some lip. Talk Radio.
This is Iain Lee. This is Late Night with Iain Lee on Talk Radio. 0344 499 1000. And I dedicate the show this evening to everybody who does a podcast from their nana's spare room.
Late Night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Here's a message from the Haters Club, dedicated to the one I love. I've been cursed by your wicked kiss. Once felt, it's forever missed, forever missed. I'm a member of the Haters Club, and I'm hating every minute of me without you, you without me. Give me some of that misery, that misery. I'm a high
set you up for the kill. Nana spare room. Evening, dear listener, Iain Lee, Talk Radio, the home of free speech here on Talk Radio, 0344 499 1000. It's a radio show, unlike any other radio show, in as much as I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, what should we do about all them Muslims? Give me a call now. I'm not going to do that. Or, how scared are you after the terror attacks in Germany? I'm not going to do that. Or, was comedy better in the olden days? I'm not going to do that. Because, well, why would you? You can get that stuff anywhere else. This is something new, something different, and something that, and I'll be the first one to say, might not work. It might not work. I'm going to sit here, and I'm just going to chat, and I'm going to throw stuff at the wall, and some stuff will stick at the wall, and some stuff will fall straight to the floor. And isn't that beautiful? Because if you want to do the things about the Muslims and hate and fear and all of that, you can. Every other radio station right now is doing it. And you know what? Sometimes we might do it. Sometimes. But imagine trying to create something that's new and unique, that only intelligent people will understand and be able to grasp. That's you, dear listener. And may not work. Bits of it won't work. If everything you do is a success, well, then you're not going to learn nothing. You're just going to keep doing the same stuff over and over again. So, I've got a list of stories to go through in the newspapers that we might go through, or we might not. But you're welcome to call in about anything you want. We won't turn anybody away. Well, we might turn a couple of idiots away. I don't know. 0344 499 1000. Now, let me play you this clip, because this is absolutely brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant, right? So this is... was this in Blackpool? Was this where it came from? Anyway, it's been doing the rounds online, right? It's a very funny video. It's the police. You've got to listen carefully, because it's the police going round to a guy's house to tell him he's got to take down a couple of the Christmas lights that are outside his house on the wall. Now, the guy, it's being filmed on a mobile phone by the guy whose lights they are, okay? So you've got to listen really carefully. His voice is very loud, because at the start he's looking out of his bedroom window, and the voice of the police officers is very, very quiet. So my suggestion is turn the radio up a bit, put your headphones on if you can, pay close attention. It's 2 minutes and 7 seconds long, okay? And it is worth making the effort to listen to what is said. Right, here we go.
Hello? What for?
Offensive wording on here.
Where?
On the wall.
Offensive?
Yeah.
How's it offensive?
Because that looks like a penis, that's like a bell, and that says end.
Right.
So people are taking offence to it.
Who is?
I'd rather we just came to the door and stuff.
I'll just switch it off.
But I want you to sit down.
You're going to knock my door in
Yeah.
to make me take these down?
No, we're coming to get you and arrest you, please.
Right. What, for Christmas lights?
No, come to order, it's offensive.
Well, I'll switch them off, all right? There you go.
Your penis is still offensive.
I'm not taking the lights down. It's too late to take them down. It's Christmas.
Well, that's not very Christmassy, is it?
What, a bell with the word end on it?
And the picture of a cock.
It's not a cock.
Yes, it is a cock.
It isn't.
Right, well, we'll agree to disagree.
It's not a
People have
cock.
been complaining, so you either take the lights down or I'll lock you up and I'll take them down myself.
Really?
Yes.
Are you joking me?
No, I'm not.
That bell is festive.
It's not.
Yeah, right, I'll have that. The bell's festive.
Right.
The way it's been displayed and what you're inferring is not festive at all, is it?
What? Bell what?
You've got a picture or an penis.
So the word
bell. And the
so
word
a
end.
bell with the word end. What? Is that offensive?
The penis is offensive.
Right. Well, so I can have the others up.
The bell end, no, you can't.
Why?
You just put Merry Christmas up like everybody else.
Well, because I had the word up before.
I know you did.
And then I put lol up. Was that offensive? Is lol offensive?
No, not at all.
So I can have a lol?
Yeah, of course you can.
So I can't have bell, a bell with the word end on the end?
Picture here.
It's a mushroom.
It's not a mushroom.
It is a mushroom.
It's not a mushroom, it's a penis.
Well, I'm dyslexic, so I can't really tell.
Well,
That's from the Blackpool Gazette. The Blackpool Gazette have got that video, and it's done the rounds, and well played to them for getting their hands on it. It is absolutely hilarious. I'm dyslexic, so I can't tell the difference between a mushroom and a penis. Come on! Absolute player. It is a penis. Absolute player. Can you try and find that guy, Kath? Have a look, see if you can find him, because it'd be great to have a little word with him and find out. Well, I don't know why he's done it. It is a penis made out of lights, and then the picture of a bell, and then it says end, right? That is rude, isn't it? That is obviously rude. Doing it for a reason. Doing it for a reason. Oh, it's absolutely wonderful. I love that. I love that. Right, let's take some phone calls, shall we? John!
John, hiya.
You're John?
Yeah, John Baker from Archway in North London.
That's great, John. Just a few more grid references and I'll be able to locate you and assassinate you.
Okay, assassinate me? Oh, well, I'm N19. I live on a certain area that supports a red team, but I'm not part of the red team.
Okay, you're not part of the red team. Are you part of a blue team?
No, damn not.
No. Part of a nuts team, though. John, you've called in this evening. What part of the show has grabbed your attention?
Well, it's just reading the papers and just everything. And, you know, I heard your preamble, with all due respect. And may I just say, winter warm wishes to you and everyone.
What does that mean?
Winter warm wishes.
What does that mean?
Warm winter wishes. Happy, warm winter. And don't get frozen. So I won't go into all political things, but
try and go into things that make sense.
I do.
Well, you haven't so far, John. With the greatest of respect.
Right. Well, the question was asked: are we safe?
Who asked that question? Who asked that
attack? That was put on the
what
in the Sun.
Who asked? Hang on a minute. Is Britain prepared for an attack?
Yeah.
What page of this? Where are the newspapers? What page of the Sun is that?
Well, I don't normally read it. I'll take a different paper, but it was there, page 6, and it said call Paul.
Yeah, well, Paul's finished, mate. Paul's on.
Okay.
He's on 6 till 10 in the morning.
Yes, but
he's not. I'm not Paul Ross's messaging service. I'd be getting some very strange phone calls if I were.
Oh, all right. We'll talk about something else.
Okay.
All right. Now,
bit awkward.
What I'm saying, yeah, I know, but what it is, we are not prepared for an attack.
No, you're talking about the same thing.
What would you like me to talk about?
Well, why would you want to scare people before Christmas, John?
I don't want to scare people.
Well, you've just said the sentence, we are not prepared for an attack, so why would you... But that's scaremongering.
Yeah, but that's what it was called for.
Well, yeah, but that was, and admittedly, you know, they don't put the time that Paul's on. He's on in the morning. But why would you want to phone in with and scare people?
I'm not scaring anyone.
But by saying we're not prepared for an attack...
Lots of teddy bears here for my girlfriend Jean. Anyway, seriously.
But seriously, folks, but phoning up and saying we are not prepared for an attack, that's quite scary.
Well, we're not, because...
It's scary.
The thing is...
Why are you scaring people?
You know, we are all living together, and it's that time of year where we mustn't talk about this, talk about that.
Talk about what? John, what mustn't we talk about?
Well, it's become a little bit politically correct that we mustn't talk about this, that, and the other.
So, well, John, what what mustn't we talk about?
Anything that upsets people.
John, I don't know.
That could be your mother or your brother. My best friend...
Oh, God, this guy's bonkers. What are you... Yes, your best friend.
Not bonkers.
Well, you've not said anything. Tell me what you're not allowed to say.
I'm saying, well, that's what I'm saying. We're not allowed to...
Say it! You're allowed to say it here!
All right, we're not allowed to talk about Muslims.
Who said we're not allowed to talk about Muslims? If you switch on the radio, that's all that gets bloody talked about. Who says you're not allowed to talk about Muslims?
What I'm trying to say is, my best friend is Muslim, and he gets a lot of stick from a lot of friends saying that because you hang around with British and white guys, you are betraying Islam, and all this sort of thing. And the question was asked earlier in the newspaper that are we safe? Well, we shall never be safe because we do not have a structure that looks after people that are in our country. Everyone has their own entire beliefs. They have their own love of religion, or if they're not religious, and we are suffering.
I feel sorry for Jean.
No, I feel sorry for you because you just don't understand.
No, I don't, John, I don't understand. Do you know why? Because you're not making any sense, man. You're all over the place. You're like a drunk driving a motorbike.
Drunk driving a motorbike? Well, I've got a Harley Davidson outside.
Yeah, don't get on it now, mate.
No.
What
I'm
are you?
just running about.
What are you? So we can't talk about Muslims, apparently. But yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, let's start again. Yeah.
But,
Go on. This is a good test for you. I used to be a radio broadcaster.
I bet you were bloody awful.
Oh no, I was fantastic. But I commentated on sport though.
Right. Were you sober when you did that?
I'm sober now.
Oh, blimey. Right. What have you called in for, John?
Well, basically to talk to you because you asked for discussion. And all I can say is we need... Oh, do you know what? I'll give you a break.
Thank you, John.
Ta-da, mate.
No. You're not allowed to talk about Muslims. You switch on any other radio station, that's all they talk about. That's it. There's a really bad advert on. I saw at the cinema, unless they're advertising on this station, in which case it's a brilliant advert. It's for Amazon, right? And it's a Christian priest. Have you seen this? It's a Christian priest and a Muslim imam, and the Muslim goes round to the Christian's house for tea. So already it's a metaphor for Muslims coming into this country. You see, it's a metaphor for Muslims coming in and infiltrating this country. So the Muslim goes round to they're old, right? Goes round to the Christians for a cup of tea, and they sit down and they have a laugh and they touch each other on the arm. So there's a homoerotic element as well. It makes a real close-up of them touching each other on the arm, right? And then when they both go to get up, they both hold their knees and go, ooh, oh, ooh, like that. Implication being, because they're doing so much praying. I mean, the Muslims tend to get on the knees a little bit more than, right-minded religions. Because there's so much praying going on, right? They've knackered their knees. So then they both go on to Amazon and order knee pads. Huh? That's an advert! That's an advert! Hey, Muslims and Christians, we can all get together as one and celebrate the marvel of next day delivery. Great work. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
The radio show for people who know the best part of the day is the night.
Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Is Lawrence coming on then? Why doesn't he want to come on? If he's got beef, tell him to come on. Lawrence, come. Lawrence. Come on, you silly sausage. But don't phone up and rollick the producer, for goodness sake. Come and rollick me. For crying out loud. Here we go. Caddick!
Hip, hip, hip,
hip, hip, hip, Caddick. This is how you do it, buddy. What you got for us?
Well, I was listening back to last night's show.
Oh.
A conversation between me and my brother.
Oh, yeah, we had two Caddicks for the price of one.
I was wondering, is he listening again?
I was wondering how we go about doing an exchange programme where you phone in whatever rubbish is on Blackpool radio late at night, and let me finish.
BBC local radio.
Yeah, and he phones in me. Because I thought he made some very, very intelligent points.
Yeah, and
I could understand what he said.
There's a new fan of yours.
Yeah, good. Well, good. I just wondered, is there any chance, Alan, that we could swap? And I get him, and you get BBC Blackpool.
Well, I don't know the local. I don't know if it's BBC Radio Lancashire.
Yeah, that'll be it. Yeah.
I don't know their number.
Oh, we could find it for you, Alan.
I'm sure we can ask Kath if she can find it. Because she's got contacts at the B.
Hey, don't worry. Hang on a minute. BBC Lancashire phone number. Here we go. 01254.
Is that the code for Blackpool?
Yep. 585.
585.
583.
583.
Could you do me a favour, Alan? Could you give them a call now?
Hold on. Let me just get the mobile. Okay.
01254.
01254.
583.
583.
583.
583.
Right, give them a call and see if you can get on. Hang on, what? Don't mention me. I don't want to get involved in this. You knocking one out, Alan?
No.
No, okay. You squeezing one out?
No.
Okay. There's definitely some physical exertion taking place there.
The phone's ringing.
I can hear it. Maybe they switched off for the night.
Or they probably belong to BBC Manchester.
Or maybe your phone number's just been passed around all the BBC local...
No, I'm BBC Lancaster before.
Yeah, but maybe the whole... You know, sometimes you go in, like a petrol station or Primark, and it'll have a photocopy picture of a young man with a baseball cap on, and it will say, "Do not serve this man, he's a shoplifter." Maybe the same thing's happened with your phone number.
No.
Well, we did have a list when we were at the BBC.
No, we did that. I'll be banned at WM.
No, yeah, well... Well, Alan, I guess that's just not... That fantasy of me getting rid of you and offloading you to another radio station is going to have to wait.
Also,
yes?
I've looked on the Talk Radio website for next week.
Yeah.
Mr. Mills is coming for you.
Is he good? Oh, well, there you go. Well, see, that's not good.
What do you mean it's not good?
I'll tell you why, right? Because when you're on holiday or you're off sick, you always want someone covering you who's not terrible... but not brilliant, right? Bob Mills is brilliant, you see, and that's going to be upsetting on my ego, and it's going to be tough when I come back and people go, "Whoa, hey, where's Bob Mills? We enjoyed his laid-back, slack conversation style."
Well, I've never heard him on a Sunday, so I wouldn't know.
Well, he filled in for me. He's good. He's good, Bob. He's brilliant. He's a cracking listener, and he'll be a lot of fun. We got the New Year's show as well. Yes, we certainly have got that. That's something to look forward to. Unless, of course, we all die, Alan, beforehand, which is a distinct possibility.
Well, it's got to be about a week and 3 days to the end of the world.
It's got to be about a week and 3 days until the end of the world. Alan, always good to talk to you, mate.
Thank you, Ian.
Ta-ta. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. We're coming up to Christmas, and I'm getting flack for not listening to that guy talk about Muslims because we're not allowed to talk about. I didn't know what the point. I didn't know what point he was making, and also we're coming up to Christmas. His opening line is, "We're not prepared for an attack." Well. There are loads of places you can go and talk about that. Why would you want to talk about that with a few days to Christmas? enjoy the Christmas spirit, man. Although I'm not really feeling it at the moment. I've not got the kids have been away. They're back now. They're back tonight. So I'll no doubt be full of the Christmas vibe tomorrow as we play Lego Marvel Avengers. 03444991000. Yes, Dana.
Hip, hip, hip.
There we go. That's more like it, Dana. This is the attitude we want. What have you got for us?
Well, I just wanted to find out a couple of things. You're off next week,
yes,
and I'm at work for a couple of nights coming up. So this is my last chance to say happy Crimbo to you, and to Kath and Ian and everyone, because I won't speak to you again.
Not everyone. Some people don't deserve it.
Well, some people. But while you're off, do you listen to the show?
No,
or you don't.
I cannot, and it's I cannot listen to my show being done by someone else. I can't do it because I get jealous, I get anxious, I get full of self-doubt. Oh God, they're better than me. Oh no, that caller's phoned in. That caller likes him more than they like me, and it's all in my head. So no, I can't. I feel like I'm missing out if I do. So I don't.
So you just steer clear and just relax.
I made the mistake of when I was off sick a couple of weeks ago, and I got really, really low, and I took 2 nights off, and I could have taken a month off, but do you know what? I had to get back on the bike, and I made the mistake of listening to 5 minutes of Bob Mills, and Bob Mills genuinely is brilliant. There's nothing saying that, tone a line. If someone was rubbish, I wouldn't bang on about it. Bob Mills is brilliant, and I listened to 5 minutes of it. I thought, he's too good. He's too good. So I switched off. I just can't do it, Dana.
Oh, well, we will be listening and we'll be still supporting the show.
No, that's good. And I thoroughly recommend to everyone to go and to listen to give Bob a chance next week. Monday to Friday, 10 till 1 at night. Give him a chance because he's a cracking listener.
Yeah. No, he is. When he filled in for you, I spoke to him. And he was a really lovely guy.
Yeah.
But no, I hope you have a lovely, relaxing time. And
it won't be. I've got 2 kids. It's going to be nuts.
Well, I've been looking after my sister's 2 kids tonight.
Yeah.
And one's coming up to 3 and one's coming up to 5.
Uh-oh.
They know how to twist me round their little fingers.
Yeah.
And I don't know how parents do it. I collected the nearly 5-year-old and my niece from school with her scooter, and it's just chaos. There's just like kids everywhere on scooters and bikes, and you're sort of almost tripping up over them, and she's dashing off, and I'm trying to chase after her, and of course she gets bored, and then I have to carry the scooter for a little bit. And
we don't never take the scooter or a bike out with kids because you say to them, right, are you going to ride this the whole time? Yeah, oh yeah. Are you sure? Yeah. What happens is within 5 minutes the coats come off, so you're carrying the coats. Within 15 minutes they hand you the scooter, so you got 2 scooters and you're carrying their coats.
That's it. I was carrying the coat, the bags, the scooter, and she's skipping off. So I don't know how parents do it. I think I've said before, it's great to be able to spend time with them and then you hand them back.
Yeah.
So I do enjoy that. But Christmas, I've hired a car so I can get up to my mum.
Yep.
And I'll spend Christmas Day in Essex with my friend, and then. And this might blacklist me, what I'm about to say, and I admit I'm a geek, but people may think really bad of me here, but as soon as the Doctor Who Christmas special has finished, I'll hit the motorway and go straight up to Mum, because for me, the whole meaning of Christmas is the Doctor Who Christmas special.
I've missed it the last few years, because the boys have been a bit too young, but I'm kind of thinking they might dig it this time. It's just that time, because I'll have to take Mum back to the care home.
Yeah.
And the last couple of years, she's been getting more and more tired during the day, so she's ended up going back earlier and earlier. And in the past, she'd stay and watch the EastEnders Christmas special. Oh God! But the last couple of years, she's been getting tighter and tighter, so she'll probably want to go about 4:30. And Doctor Who's on at 5:45, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, 5:45.
Yeah, so
5:45.
I might. Anyway, I don't know. The boys.
So I'll hit the motorway and then go to Mum, and then I spend Boxing Day at my mum's, and that's when all the family will be there. So my mum's tiny little bungalow will just be filled with people, and it'll be chaos. But it'll be good, and I'm not in the Christmas spirit like you were saying.
I'm not
feeling it. And I do firmly feel it's for kids, and I look at my nephew and niece and wish I was their age in a way, or I had that excitement about it again. I just don't have it anymore, and part of me really feels I'm missing out, but then part of me thinks, oh no, I've enjoyed it, and I think back to when my dad's long gone, but when he would, maybe he made such an effort with the house and the lights and decorations, and it was just such a lovely time for us as kids. And obviously I look now at what my sister and her husband are doing, and again, it is beautiful. And in some ways I think, I wish I could have that excitement again, but it's like every time we pass a Father Christmas or a Santa Claus, my little nephew, who's 3, just gets so excited at this strange man in a red suit, and I think it's wonderful. It's so lovely.
Genuine, Dana. It's genuine magic. You got kids. It's actual magic takes place. Dana, thank you very much. 0344 499 1000. Late nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Late night Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
I've sent an email from Adam Nimoy. He enjoyed the interview, and I'm going to post a few links of where you can get the movie and the DVD. He sent me the American link, so I'll go on Amazon.co.uk and I'll find those and post those, and I'll do that in the next. I'll get it done by midnight, guys. I promise. Rob.
Hello.
Hello, Rob.
How are you?
All right, Rob. What you got for us, boss?
I'm a first-time caller.
Thank you.
I've been listening since the start of Talk Sport, but I listened to some of the old stuff as well.
Nice one, man. Thank you.
And I was listening to one of the older Talk Sport podcasts earlier. I have a 3-hour drive to and from, hour and a half drive to and from work every day.
Yeah.
I listened to an old one where you were talking about Shel Silverstein. The poet?
Oh, yeah. Let me do a little bit of background for those. Shel Silverstein was a brilliant songwriter and poet, and Doctor Hook. We had Dennis LeCorrier in for Doctor Hook, and he wrote a load of the early Doctor Hook songs. The one you'll know is he wrote Sylvia's Mother, but he also wrote loads of others, The Ballad of Lucy Jordan, Queen of the Silver Dollar. And he also wrote the brilliant I'm Being Swallowed by a Boa Constrictor, which we used to play a lot at the other place. And he's absolutely brilliant. Yes. Why did that pique your interest, Rob?
It reminds me of probably what I think is the biggest laugh I've ever got out of anyone.
Go on.
I got some family in America that moved over 20 years or so ago, and they sent me over a book for Christmas, one of his poem books.
Yeah.
And it was one of my first English lessons at school, and the teacher said, does anyone know any poems?
Uh-oh.
Does anyone know anything? And the room was silent, and I put my hand up. He said, you, whoever else. It's the first couple of days, he didn't know anyone's name. And I said, well, I know this one, it's not very long though. He said, just go for it, don't worry. I said, okay. And it went like this. Teddy said it was a hat, so I put it on. Now Dad is saying, where the heck's the toilet plunger gone? And the whole class was silent. They didn't get it. They were about 12 at the time. But the teacher gave the biggest laugh. His tears going down his face. I think he just wasn't expecting it from a kid who just started secondary school, especially from, I thought I was quite quiet back then as well.
Do you know what? You've just reminded me of my first day at primary school. Right, so primary school. So gone from nursery to primary school, and it was this old teacher, who I remember as being ancient, but she was called Miss Earl, and she was old and with grey hair, and it was tied in a bun. And the very first day, she said, "Who knows any poems?" And I put my hand up, and I do. She went, "Okay, up you get. Let's hear your poem." And I went, 1, 2, 3. Mother caught a flea, put it in the teapot, and made a cup of tea. The flea jumped out. Mother gave a shout, and in came Father with his shirt hanging out, right? And I thought this was a brilliant poem. The class burst into laughter. Miss Earl was furious with me. Proper, she says, that is not a poem. That is a filthy rhyme, and I will not have behaviour like that in my class. And I'm stood there thinking, What's just happened? It's all gone wrong. It's all gone horribly wrong. You know, my first day at school and I'm trying to impress and I've done a poem and I was totally destroyed by Miss Earl. And that's the reason I was a failure at school.
It's quite impressive a poem for a 4 or 5-year-old to remember.
No, it's not bad. I remember we learned that when I was. My mum must have said that to me since I was a baby. It was so good. Yeah, and she completely destroyed me, miserable old cow. She really did. Well, miserable thing to do to a 5-year-old on their first day at school.
Yes. Yeah, luckily I got the opposite response. Otherwise, I would have been mortified.
You won, Rob. You won. Yeah, he's good.
It's not a competition. It's not a competition here.
Life is a competition, Rob, and at the moment you're winning.
I was wondering, what are kids wanting for Christmas these days? Because they don't have an Argos catalogue, but they go around and circle things, do they?
That is an excellent question, and I kept meaning they've stopped doing them now. But in the papers the last couple of weeks, they've had the must-have toys for this Christmas. For my boys, it's Lego. It's still Lego. They want a Lego Ewok village. I can't believe I'm saying this. So it's Lego and Star Wars. And any combination of are still huge. I guess drones are big this year as well. Expect lots of cuts and nicks this Christmas morning. But I don't know, actually. That's a good question. 0344 499 1000. What are the must-have toys this Christmas? We'll find out, Rob.
So what, with Lego these days, is it all sort of dioramas? Do the kids play with it? Do they put it together, put it on a shelf?
My eldest makes them and puts them on a shelf and then gets annoyed when either the dog or his younger brother smashes them up. So there's very little playing with the Lego. It's more the act of building it and the satisfaction of having built it. And they look amazing, but I hate Lego. I never dug Lego. And my boy keeps saying, can you help me with this? And I'm like, I don't really know how to, because I don't understand Lego. I'm not very good at building things. So,
I remember when I was little, I had a big box of it, and me and my brothers used to tip it all out on the floor and just make something. We'd say, let's make this. And we'd each make our own. It would all be completely different.
Yeah.
But I get the impression Lego sets these days are a bit more. It's not so much free form. It's just, here's a window piece. You make your own windows. That's the fun of it.
No, it's all you buy a kit. We have a box full of spare Lego parts, but the days of going in there to go, I'm going to build the tallest tower I can, that's gone. It's now you get a box with instructions and you make that thing that is in the box.
I think if I'm ever lucky enough to have children, that's not going to happen. You just have a big box full of empty stuff, make them be creative.
Yeah,
and
you're trying to impose rules on the kids, Rob. It don't work like that, man. Thanks very thanks for the call, Rob. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Late nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000 is the phone number. Nigel!
Hello, fella. Hey.
Hang on a minute. Is this Frank Sidebottom?
Frank Sidebottom? No, I don't think so.
Can you say Christmas is really fantastic, boss?
Christmas is really fan-bloody-tastic.
It's Frank Sidebottom back from the dead. This is brilliant.
I know thee, and have you done?
Yes.
Nora Bassi in her wrinkled stockings.
What the hell are you on about now, you strange old man? What you got for us, Nige?
Hey, I want to say, Action Man.
Go on then, say it.
Lego. Why have all these fantastic things been taken away by our mothers?
What do you mean been taken
My
away?
mother took them away.
What do you mean?
She took them away. When my mother and dad split up.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, where's my Action Man? I had tanks. I had everything.
I bet you did.
They were great. Great stuff.
It sounds like it has really, it's really affected you.
Well, it has, because, mother took them away.
Yeah. And what, you became a boozer after that, or?
No. I moved down to Selby.
And you became a boozer then?
Are you trying to say something?
Sorry?
What are you trying to say?
I'm not trying to say anything. I'm succeeding in saying something. You're the one trying to say something.
Yeah, but Action Man Lego.
Yes.
Right? That was Scandinavian. Action Man was brilliant. And I heard your previous caller. That was fantastic. Super duper.
Where's he gone? Get him back. Get him back. He's gone.
Oh, Christmas is really fantastic. It's my favourite day. The giving up, receiving of gifts.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Oh, Christmas is really fantastic. 'Cause it's Christmas everywhere you go. And I love building snowmen. Except when there isn't any snow.
Oh, ho, 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 he. The world is just like one great big gigantic Christmas tree. Oh, yeah. Christmas is fantastic in the morning, and Christmas is fantastic in the evening, and Christmas is the most fantastic in the afternoon. Take it away.
Christmas is fantastic in the morning.
And Christmas is fantastic in the evening, but Christmas is the most fantastic in the afternoon.
Oh, Christmas is really fantastic. It's a fabulous time of year.
Everybody likes everybody else, 'cause everybody's full of Christmas cheer. Ho, 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 he. The world is just like one great big gigantic Christmas tree. Oh, yeah.
The world is just like one great big gigantic Christmas tree. Oh yeah, you know it is, it really is. Thank you.
Thank you, Nigel. That was brilliant.
Well, you gotta say what is happening and leave out that and t'other.
Aye!
Because we're up in Yorkshire.
Ah!
We're up in Solby.
Yes.
And you know why the BY is because all the Danish, you see.
Yes, the Danes.
That was the Danes, you see.
The Danes.
BY means village up in the north.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what, I'll tell thee.
Yes.
One thing.
Go.
The most important thing you must know on talk radio.
Yes.
I will say, is the greatest commentator that Talk Sport has ever had.
Yep.
Is Mr. Nigel Pearson. And I bet you met him before. He is the greatest.
Is that you?
Well, he's an old pal. He'll probably kill me now.
I don't know who he is.
What? The greatest sports commentator on Talk Sport.
Well, I'm not on Talk Sport, though, Nigel.
Yeah, but it's Talk Radio.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling, Nigel.
He is number one speedway on a certain satellite.
Brilliant. That's brilliant, Nigel. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Hey, and I'll tell you what, I wish you all good Christmas.
Here we go. He went cowboy at the end. I wish you all good Christmas. Lee.
What kind of tinsel?
Exactly. Flippin' heck.
I feel sober now.
Everyone's gone a little bit weird. a little bit weird, my friends. Everyone's
I'm in the
gone weird.
Christmas spirit after that song.
Exactly. I'm drunk for the first time in 12 years. Flippin' heck. By osmosis.
Oh, careful. You have the Hallelujah chorus from Mr. James O'Brien,
There
if
we
you
go.
say that word.
Yeah, well... He's still working in radio, is he? Unbelievable.
I believe so.
Unbelievable.
How are you, boss?
Do you know what? Ups and downs, Lee. Ups and downs. Faking it.
We all have those.
Faking it to make it like crazy. I'm looking forward to having a week off, and then I think in February I'm gonna take 2 weeks off. I need to check with the bosses that I can take 2 weeks off, but that's the plan. Take 2 weeks off in February.
But Alan just told us we only had 1 week and 3 days to the end of the world.
Yeah, well,
concerned about, 'cause I've got a lot to do.
Yeah, that's true. We might, the world might end by then. Never mind. Never mind. These things happen. We'll be all right.
I was walking around the shops today, and you was asking about what's the big present this year. It seems to be VR headsets. Every single shop you go in has got the.
I'm not fussed by that. I'm not fussed by that. It'll be the VR headset thing. Will be a nice gimmick. By the end of March, they'll all be broken, or they'll be put in the little cupboard underneath the TV. They will. It'll be like 3D TVs. They will not take off. There we go. That's my.
They were never going to work, were they? I kept telling friends don't get one of those, and they're all like, "Oh, it's amazing." I said, "No, it's not. It's going to not last."
They're going to broadcast everything on Sky in 3D eventually. 6 months later, they're still showing that same test package, and that's it. They're going to shoot all TV in 3D. No, they're not, because it's really bloody difficult to shoot in 3D.
Yeah, and it's just pointless.
I had to do a package for the One show about 3D TV, and I did see a really good 3D TV where you didn't need to wear glasses for it. You had to sit in a certain point, and you could see what was being broadcast in 3D. But the thing it was a really narrow. There's a word for the point. Anyway, it was a really narrow point you had to sit in. So basically, you couldn't have two people sat on a sofa looking at it because. The point of perspective wasn't wide enough for that to work. So it never worked. It never took off.
I always thought 3D TV was theatre anyway.
Oh, really? There we go, you see. Well done.
It's a terrible joke. I'm sorry. It was awful.
Well, you know. These things
Can you do us a favour?
Yep.
Can you cut me off?
I'm not going to do that, Lee.
Oh.
There we go. Of course I'm going to do it. Dana, you've been on. What the hell is going on here? Oh, that's not Dana. Is that Sherlock? Hang on a minute. Let me close. My phone box has gone to cock. It says Dana on my screen. Are you there? Are you there, Sherlock?
Don't be horrible.
Sorry?
Yeah, I'm here, but don't be horrible.
Well, I wasn't being horrible to you. I was being horrible to Dana, but she's not here.
Oh, sorry. So, shall I wait?
No.
Are you doing the news or something?
No.
Oh, no, you have literally come through to me.
Yeah, I know, because my screen... God, flipping it, it's like talking to a brick wall, isn't it? The screen sometimes goes a bit funny and shows old information, so I've closed it down.
Did you get slightly excited when you saw it as me? Yeah.
No, there was a real... I can actually...
apprehension.
No, I can vocalise the feeling, if you want. I can represent it in a sound when I saw it was you. Would you like to hear it?
Oh, I don't know if I want to.
Okay.
Tell me what it was. Oh, you're so horrible.
Well,
why is that? I said to your producer, do you know what? Who I have to add is so lovely. Did you hear that?
Oh, yeah, I'm waiting for the sentence to end and for the flirting to end.
Well, no, I don't fancy her.
No, I know, Sherlock. I'm not suggesting you're flirting with her.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That I'm
suggesting you're flirting with me.
Oh, I don't flirt with anyone of it. Anyway, why I'm calling.
Yes.
How are you? Merry Christmas.
Up yours.
What's that about? Just be nice. Be nice. Say Merry Christmas.
Okay.
Say Merry Christmas back.
I'm not going to say it back to you.
Why are you not going to say it back?
I'm not feeling Christmassy.
Okay, should we talk about something topical?
If you want to, Sherlock.
Well, that's why I called.
Okay.
That's why I called every time.
Okay, well then start talking about it. It's a show where you can call in about anything you want.
Okay, I feel like everything's disingenuous with you, isn't it? Anyway, I'm just going to go for it, and then we'll just see how you go with it.
Okay.
So, well, actually, I've got 2 points, if that's okay. Just try
making one of them, yeah.
Yeah, the first one I'd like to talk about is ID cards. and your view on those. But primarily, I would like to talk about our current Prime Minister.
You've just said the first thing I want to talk about is, but primarily I want to talk about something different. So you.
Oh, okay. Oh, God, you know what? Yeah, okay. Okay, well, let's go for one of those.
Why is everybody drunk this evening? What the hell is wrong with it? It's only it's Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? It's Wednesday.
Because, you know what? I said Merry Christmas to you, and you couldn't even say it back.
No shit, Sherlock. I've been waiting to say that for ages.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know how many times I've heard that?
7?
Oh, so many more times than that.
15?
About 17, probably.
So 17. Okay, well, it's just not that bad then. It's not that bad.
Anyway, come on, my friend, come on. So, which subject?
We ain't friends.
I'll be nice.
I'm being nice, but I'm also being honest. We ain't friends.
Okay, how can we be... Right.
What do you want to talk about?
Shall we talk about...
Oh, God.
Let's talk about something not too topical, probably.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Don't want to challenge you too much. So let's go for... Was that a bit below the belt?
Oh, God, I'm losing the will to live, mate. You'd love to get below the belt, wouldn't you, eh?
Do you know what? Oh, this is what I meant to say to you.
Yeah.
The radio, this thing is always on like a 30-second delay, isn't it?
Yes.
And when I hung up from talking to you last
the end
time,
of your phone call,
I didn't realise how camp I sounded.
Oh, didn't you?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, very much so. You're like a stereotype or something.
It's bordering on Julian Clary.
I was going to say John Inman.
Well,
it's Julian Clary, but without the wit or personality.
Shame me by saying that I know who that person is, but yeah.
God, this is like pulling.
Anyway,
what have you called in for, you fruitcake?
Well, first off, to wish you Merry Christmas.
Oh God, get on with it!
Oh, you could be so rude. And secondly, so what are your thoughts on, given what's gone on lately, what's your thoughts on the ID card thing?
Oh, I don't really care about the ID cards.
Okay, what do you want to talk about? Okay, do you want to know what I baked today? And what shape I made it in?
I bet you made a cock cake. Yeah, I'm right, aren't I? Oh, I'm right, he totally did! Is it creamy? Does it squirt cream when you bite into it?
Oh. Well, do you know how childish you are sometimes?
I'm not the one that's made a cock cake that squirts cream when you bite into it. Am I?
Okay. Next subject. Next subject. Do you, your producer, who's a lot smarter than you...
Yeah, isn't she just?
And if I was that way inclined, she'd totally be my type.
Yeah, I doubt that a drunk, slobbering camp man would be her type, but I don't know her that well enough.
Why do you accuse everybody that calls you at this time of night is drunk?
Sherlock?
Is it because they have to be drunk to call you?
Sherlock, what we're going to do is I'm going to cut you off now. You're going to rush and turn the radio on and have a listen. You tell me if you think you sound sober, OK?
And okay, I've got one more point.
OK. 0344 499... What the hell was that? 0344 499 1000. Another hour to go. I don't know if I can take it. Late nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Talk Radio.
Oh, I'm in a Christmassy Frank Sidebottom kind of vibe, so we might come back with another Frank Sidebottom song. 0344 499 1000. We call you back. Late nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Let's all sing the Christmas medley. Switch up the hi-fi, switch up the TV. Let's all sing the Christmas medley now. Oh, beat on the medley on high. The Christmas bells are ringing, and I just see the spaceship in the sky with a big fat spaceman, and he was singing. I seen a spaceman singing. Let's all sing the Christmas medley. Switch up the hi-fi, switch up the TV. Let's all sing the Christmas medley now.
There we go.
It's a fantastic song. I suppose I better give little Frank and his X-Men from Demonland or whatever. Are you ready yet, you lot out there?
Oh, lovely Frank Sidebottom. Can't go wrong with a bit of Frank. I wish he'd lived so my boys could have met him, because my boys would have loved Frank Sidebottom. The fact that they just burst into hysterics when they see a picture of him. I haven't got all the papers, I don't think, Kath. Could I get all the papers? I think we left them out there because it all got a bit confusing at the start of the show. The fact that they burst into hysterics when they see a picture of him says it all for me. Good evening, dear listener. This is Iain Lee. This is Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. You can also watch us. We're on Facebook tonight, but we're doing it on the Talk Radio listeners page on Facebook. If you go in and type in Talk Radio listeners, it pops up, and you can go and hang out with all the people that enjoy listening to this rubbish. I don't know why, but they do. They seem to dig that kind of stuff. Thank you, Boyle. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. 0344 499 1000. And for the first time since the show started this evening, we have no calls on the switchboard whatsoever. We still have a golden ticket to give away. If you want to come and sit in on the show on New Year's Eve between 9 and 1, we're based in Waterloo. Just bear in mind, guys, it's going to be New Year's Eve, New Year's morning in London. Right? There ain't going to be no cabs or nothing like that at all. So please be mobile independent. Okay, be able to make your own way around. Have a car or a motorbike or something like that. Because at 1 o'clock, we put our coats on and we drive off in our cars, and nobody, nobody will be getting a lift. It's free. That much is true. It's free if you want to come along. But you've got to let us know in advance. One more ticket. I got one more ticket. Who we got? We got John, we got Dana, and we got that mad woman. Eben. And there's a mad one. Oh, there's 4 already. There's a mad woman, Lizzie or Stella or Fiona or Valentina. That was it. I knew it was a name. I knew there was a name involved in it, and I couldn't quite work out what name it was. The front page of the Daily Star is trying to manufacture some British pride and bravery. I find these front pages strange. Brave Brits say Christmas baubles to terror. Huh? Brave Brits say Christmas baubles to terror. Brave Brits say Christmas baubles to terror. I don't know what the phrase Christmas baubles means. Is it like up yours, Delors? Christmas baubles. Murdering scum told, get stuffed, just like the turkey. Oh. Defiant Brits have stuck 2 fingers up to Christmas terror maniacs. Christmas terror maniacs? Oh, imagine. And told them, you can just get stuffed. Who said that? Who has said that, and how close were they to a jihadi? How close were they to a Christmas terror maniac? Because I wouldn't be sticking my fingers up to a Christmas terror maniac if they were stood in front of me saying, get stuffed. After the Berlin bloodbath, tastefully described, revellers here refuse to let fanatics spoil their festive fun. Well, full story, page 4. Full story. Full story, page 4 and 5. We'll go to the full story in a minute. Wayne, good evening, Wayne.
Good evening, Ian. What kind of cake?
A walnut cake.
Oh, my favourite.
Is it really?
No, I jest.
Good joke. We should both open with that. What you got for us, Wayne?
I do have a Christmas joke,
okay.
if you care.
I don't care, but I'll hear.
Okay. What is my favourite Christmas carol?
A Wayne in a manger.
Hey! You just ruined the punchline for me.
I didn't ruin the punchline. I worked out your pony gag.
A pony gag? It took me 30 years.
No, what you want to do is you want to get an actual manger.
Yeah.
And you want to lie in it.
Yeah.
And this is it. And you want a picture taken.
Yeah.
And then that's your Christmas card, a Wayne in a manger. You send that out and never go, Wayne's brilliant.
That might have to wait till next year now.
It's a bit tight for this year. Have you sent any Christmas cards? I haven't done any.
My wife did.
I don't. We've got loads of Christmas cards at home, and I'm thinking, who sends Christmas cards these days? They're rubbish.
I got one from my mum, and inside it was like a novel. I was just like, oh, God, what's all this? It's just full of writing. I was like, I don't need this. I just need Merry Christmas.
I don't even want that, because then I feel bad for not... Well, no. Then I'm supposed to feel bad for not sending that person a Christmas card. But it's a waste of money.
Well, I mean, Christmas as a whole is a waste of money. You're buying presents for somebody else just so you'll receive a present back. It's all a waste of money, really.
I do hope. It just dawned on me that the present that I was most looking forward to last year, right, was the deluxe version of the Beatles 1 DVD box set. So it's 2 DVDs of a lot of previously unseen footage, and the footage that has been seen has been cleaned up to HD, high definition, and it's got a beautiful booklet, and it was the thing I was most looking forward to. It dawned on me last week, I've not watched it.
Well,
I've not watched it. And that was the present I was most excited about.
I mean, that's a tad ungrateful of yourself, really, not to even watch it.
Well, I think my sister might. I don't know if my sister sent it to me. I think I might. I don't know. My sister might have got it. And it's just because I've got so much stuff that I'm spoilt for choice as to. So instead of watching something, I'll watch something on Netflix. And this is part of the reason why I want to get rid of a load of stuff and have a big old clear out, because I've got too much stuff, Wayne. I've got too much stuff. I think we all do,
don't we, really?
Yes, we have. And I do wonder. I cleaned up my hard drive, not because of that, although that was one thing. I cleaned up my hard drive on my laptop because it was getting full, and my hard drive on my desktop because it was getting full.
Yeah.
And it felt good, right? It was like spring cleaning the house, except when you've sprung cleaned the house, you can see the difference. When you've sprung cleaned the hard drive, you don't see it. You just know that if you click on it, there's got, a lot more memory than it used to.
Things probably run a bit quicker, I imagine.
Yeah, things run a bit quicker, but...
Do you do the same with emails? Like, you get, like, promotional emails, and you just try and have, like, sort of a... cleanse your sort of unsubscribe list of emails.
Oh, I love it. But we've got too much. I've got too much stuff, Wayne, and I think I'm at a pivotal point in my life, right, where I'm uncomfortable with the material products and things I have. I'm uncomfortable with my online presence because there are loads of arseholes out there, and I'm thinking of just. I wish I was rich. I wish I was rich, right, and I didn't have to work. Because I'd just delete Twitter, I'd get rid of all my stuff, and I'd go and live in a cabin in the Glens with that drunk bloke who phoned in the other day.
I mean, possibly, but, still you might strive for something else. Ultimately, you just got to do it for yourself. Like, forget Twitter, forget that. Yep. You're just doing it for yourself, to entertain yourself, pay the bills, da-da-da. Yeah. Just... Don't sweat the small stuff.
Yeah, but I do. It's funny, isn't it? It's because I'm nuts. It's because as someone described me once, I'm cuckoo. And the small stuff gets dummy, man.
Well, I guess you get a lot of negativity in your sort of profile, but that must be hard, I imagine.
Yeah, I've just seen a picture of a crying cactus. Someone's left a crying cactus card in here. That's outrageous behaviour. Yeah, but maybe I just focus on the negativity a bit more as well. But Twitter really is turning into a very, very hurtful place at the moment.
For you personally?
No, just in general. I can't believe we're attacking Brendan Cox, Joe Cox's husband.
That's ridiculous.
And the fella that phoned in, texted yesterday to say some obnoxious things about Brendan Cox, and I called him out, and he texted in some more abuse. I didn't even read it. I just blocked him today he's blocked on the talk radio thing. Why are we having a go at a bloke whose wife was murdered 6 months ago? When did that become okay?
Well, it's ludicrous that Farage has said those things and not received more criticism, I think.
People are applauding him for being brave enough to hold a mirror up and speak the truth. He's having a pop at a bloke whose wife was murdered 6 months ago. And him and the kids are going to have their first Christmas without their mum and their wife. Give them a break. At least wait until January the 2nd before you start having a go at him.
Yeah.
At least let them get through Christmas and New Year before you start having a pop, Nige. And everybody on Twitter who's had a pop. Blimey.
You know, I mean, if we can get bogged down by this stuff, and it is out there, and we should acknowledge it, but I don't. You know, we're giving him airtime. We're thinking, we're talking about it. But Farage, we know he's a joke. We can't take it seriously.
Here's the thing with Twitter, right? If suddenly hundreds of trolls started going on Twitter and saying that my mum is a slag, right? It would have zero impact on my mum.
Yeah.
Because she's not on Twitter.
Yeah.
So those, let's say, 500 people calling her a slag, in her world, wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
I'm going somewhere with this, and I don't quite know where I'm going. There's something. The anger and furore created on Twitter only exists if we allow it to exist. There's something there, isn't there? There's something in what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and by blocking them, you're taking the power away. It's still going to be there.
Yeah.
So you've got the power to get them out of your Twitter sphere.
But if I remove myself entirely from that Twitter sphere, then those people calling me a knob and a snowflake and a cuckoo and a prick and a crybaby and a nutter, then those people cease to exist in my world. That whole ream of abuse vanishes. It's gone. It doesn't exist. It's not real anymore.
So then the question of why are you on Twitter?
And I keep going back to, because it's good to promote the show, and it's good to, if I'm doing a live thing, I can say you can get tickets here. But I wonder if I didn't use Twitter, would it have an impact on the size of my audiences? It's interesting, isn't it?
Possibly not, because I'm a fan of a radio show from another channel where I'm not going to promote them, but I know that the main host isn't on Twitter, but still their audience figures are significant.
Go on, tell us who it is.
Well, I like Frank Skinner, and he presents on Absolute.
And is he not on Twitter?
He's not on Twitter.
Isn't that interesting?
But, there is a Twitter handle for his show, but I'm sure he has nothing to do with it.
But I suppose the thing is, he is massively famous.
Yeah.
He's a big name.
Yeah. Ish. He's quite
big.
From where he used to be. Yeah. I mean, you're on the spectrum of A to Z.
I'm on some sort of spectrum. But it is addictive. It's like, doing cocaine or smoking crack or something. You get hits from it. And some of the hits are pleasurable because it's people saying nice things about you and massaging your ego. And some of the hits are nasty, but they're all very addictive.
Yeah, I mean, I got a sense of that when Piers Morgan tweeted me, and then I got like a barrage of tweets, and I was like, "Ooh, this is really good."
Why did Piers Morgan tweet you?
Oh, I was just talking about cricket, and I mentioned about Kevin Peterson, and I think they're friends, and he just replied to one of my tweets, and my Twitter just went off. So that gave me an insight, a very small insight into what it must be like to have that many people take notice of you.
Yeah. Oh, it's good for the... It's good. It pleases the ego. Of course it does.
Yeah.
Look, I'm deleting loads of tweets when I'm talking to you. Wayne, I don't know if you called in to talk about any of that stuff, but I've thoroughly enjoyed chatting to you.
It's been a pleasure. I really just came in with my pony joke, as you said.
And I really did. Well, my tip for you, my gift to you, Christmas card next year, a Wayne in a manger.
Yeah.
Honestly, they'll love it.
Right. I've got a whole year to work on it, and when it comes to fruition, I'll send you a card.
Yeah, please do. I'd love one. Nice to talk to you, Wayne.
Ian.
Thanks for calling,
Yeah.
mate. Bye-bye. Chris, Manny, stay there. Come to you in a bit. 0344 499 1000. Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Late Night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
Gosh, that was... wow. Oh, so we're doing the New Year's Eve show, and Kath was telling me we have the New Year's Eve jingle. Is that in the computer system? Can we find that and fire that off? Because I've not heard it. And I'm hoping that they've pulled out all the stops. And it's going to sound absolutely stunning. It's Talk Radio's first New Year. When did Talk Radio become Talk Sport? 20 years ago? Something like that? Maybe not quite as long. It's the first Talk Radio New Year. I'm hosting it, and it's going to be a very special night. Might be quite, well, I was going to say boring. I don't know what it'll be. But it's going to be very special, and I don't like New Year. It's going to be the New Year's Eve show for all of you that don't like New Year's Eve. The only things I've decided that we're going to do is we are going to, I'm going to have a record player. Instead of my computer, I'm going to have a record player and bring in a load of records. And the people that come in the studio will bring in a record each. And also, we're going to make a list of people that we think won't make it through 2017. I think we can get away. That's not in too much bad taste, is it? Is it? Kath pulling the face. Make a list and then put it in an envelope. And then we don't open that envelope until New Year's Eve 2017, 2018. And read that. Well, no, not a wish list. Just, you know, a list. I don't know. Well, maybe it's in bad taste. I don't know. But Ed's got the jingle. Let's listen. No, he hasn't. No, he's not. He's not. He's was leaning forward as though he had. While we're waiting, let's go to Chris. Evening, Chris. Chris?
Hello. The line's just all gone all a bit blurry here now.
It has. Hang on. Let me move you to this one here. Let's try. Is that any better, Chris?
No, it sounds like there's interference on the line. Sounds like someone else is talking over it.
Well, Catherine is going to phone you straight back, Chris, and sort it out. And while she's phoning you back, I'm going to speak to Manny, the Manny of the people. Oh, there we go. That's good, isn't it? The Manny of the people.
Good evening.
Oh, flipping it. You see, this is it. The WM people, the WM people can't pick up on the spontaneous conversation.
Good evening.
Yeah, you see, the people from Birmingham, Kath, they can't do the spontaneous conversation. It's weird, isn't it? Isn't it, Manny?
Yeah, whatever you say.
Exactly! What you got for us, man?
Did you hear about that lad in Australia today? The bank gave him an overdraft, right, of 1.4 million.
Right.
He was on the dole. He spent it on a Banksy painting. He bought a Ferrari.
Yep.
He was on GMB this morning. This is next thing. For 6 months, he spent that money.
Yeah.
And the police about 10 policemen turned up, armed police, knocked his house, knocked his door down, and and then he got sent. They took him to jail.
Good.
But the judge sided with him.
Oh,
it's a bank's fault.
And they let him keep the judge let him keep the money.
But I didn't catch all of it. I caught about 5 minutes of it.
Catherine, research the story and find out the punchline, please.
He did not have to pay it back.
Are you sure? Catherine's going to research it because I don't trust.
Yeah.
You're about as trustworthy as Breitbart. You are.
No, I see on the GMB with the what's his name? Him, Piers Morgan. He interviewed him this morning.
Well, you see.
Yeah, I think it was a New South Wales judge. I think there's 3 judges that took his side. Yeah, not joking.
Not joking today, not
Not
joking,
joking.
not
No,
joking.
not joking,
Not
not joking.
joking. Catherine is coming
No.
in with the story. Catherine, is Manny right or wrong?
The story's perhaps not quite as charming as...
Here we go.
Manny paints.
Here we go. Let's hear. Stay there, Manny.
This is from the Inquisitor.
Yes.
The fraud conviction of a 29-year-old Australian, Luke Moore, was overturned this week after the New South Wales Court of Criminal Appeal ruled that while Mr Moore had taken the money, he'd not been deceptive and ruled his conviction a mistake, as reported in the Daily Mail. Moore was said to have appropriated 2.1 million Australian dollars, which is £1.5 million US dollars. US dollars. Before being caught, and is now living with his parents, reportedly broke and studying for a legal career. Luke Moore, this is the title of it. Luke Moore, Australian man, blows $1.6 million overdraft error on cocaine, strippers and fast cars.
Oh, well, that's not the same as buying a Banksy and...
He did buy a Banksy.
Yeah, and a load of... He bought a Banksy because he'd done a load of cocaine.
He's now got nothing to do with his mum and dad.
But
he went to jail for 5 months.
Well, while he was in jail, he studied a bit of law, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he got himself out the ding dong.
Well, he shouldn't have... The thing is, he's an idiot, Manny, for spending the money in the first place.
Spend it.
What?
I'd spend it.
Well, you're an idiot then. That's fraud.
No, it's not fraud.
What I would do, if I saw £1.4 million overdraft, right, I'd look at it, I'd take some screen grabs of it, I'd phone up my mates and have a laugh, and then I'd phone up the bank and say, I'm terribly sorry. I think you've made a mistake. This isn't meant for me.
No.
No, yeah, because I don't want to go to prison. I don't want to go to Pokey.
No.
He went to Pokey. He went to Pokey, and then he went to Pokey. He went to Cokey, did some Pokey, and then went to Pokey.
Well, the bank got poked in the end, didn't they? Because he got away with it.
Everyone got poked.
Yeah, everybody got poked.
Yeah, he probably got poked in prison as well.
He might have when he bent over in the showers.
There we go. These things happen. Male rape.
Yeah, you don't know.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Everyone makes a joke about it, but that's what it is. That's what it is. You know, it's a weird thing to make a joke about.
Have a very, very nice night. I will speak to you tomorrow.
Thank you, Manny. That's wonderful. Wonderful. Anyone? It's true. Everyone makes a joke about bending over in the prison showers, but it's a joke about male rape, isn't it? It's a weird one. Oh, don't drop the soap in prison. You might be raped. That's what the gag is. I've never really thought of it that way. Oh, that's horrible, isn't it? Actually, it's horrible. Yet acceptable to do that. Oh, that's really given me a pause for thought. Gosh. 0344 499 1000. Chris, back to you after this.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Last 30 minutes of the show. 0344 499 1000. Chris is on the line. Evening, Chris.
Ian, I have exactly the same problem.
Oh, for God's sake.
I cannot hear this.
Right.
It sounds like there's another voice on this line every time you're going on.
Have you got the radio off?
No, not at all.
No. Have you got the radio off?
The radio is off.
Give your phone. Is it like a landline?
You're on a landline. There's another voice on this call.
Saying what?
I can't hear a thing.
Hang on. Let's listen. Oh, I can hear something. There! What was that?
It sounds...
But can you hear me?
That's what I'm hearing.
But can you hear me okay? Be quiet, be quiet. There. I think this line is haunted. We've got one of those... There it was. I think we've got one of those haunted lines, Chris.
I don't know,
Chris is unsure as to whether the line is haunted. Yep.
Oh, no, I can't.
What? Right. I'm going to try something, Chris, okay? Don't answer until I say go, because okay. Can you hear me now, Chris? And does it sound okay? Go.
No.
Oh. What is... Right. What is your problem? It's not, you're the only person that's got this problem.
Shall I record what I can hear? And
Yes.
I'll play it back later.
Yes, do that. This is great radio.
Hold on.
Okay, holding on, sir.
Wait there.
Waiting.
Recorder.
Here we go, press record and play. Get your tape recorder up to the phone. I can hear that. Have you recorded it, Chris?
Hold on.
Oh, Struth. What is that? This is a haunted line. It's a haunted telephone line. This is the spookiest thing I've ever heard in my life. Where's Howard Hughes when
I'm recording it now.
Oh, for God. Do you want me to say anything, or is it recording? Chris?
Hello? Shall I end the call?
No, right, now play back what you've recorded.
Hold on.
Okay.
I'm recording it now. Hello?
I'm confused. Is that you now, or is that recording?
No, that was a recording. This is me now.
Right. Well, that's weird, isn't it?
There we go. See, that's what I had the first time round as well.
Okay, we'll call you back again. Catherine, can you call Chris back again? We'll call Chris back again. In the meantime, it's Danny.
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, 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 it's Danny. Hip, 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 it's Danny. Hip, 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 it's Danny. Here come Danny now.
Here I am.
Here he is. You right, Danny? What you got for us?
I've been umming and ahhing all night about the golden ticket, and I thought it got this far into the show, and it was still unclaimed. I thought I want a golden ticket.
Tell me a little bit about yourself, Danny, because it's not just as simple as saying you won the golden ticket. Who is Danny? What's Danny going to bring to the show? Why are my listeners going to want to meet Danny on New Year's Eve?
Well, I was just going through some records, looking. I mean, tell me a little bit about the you want a personal connection to a record. I think I've got one that I'm almost thinking might be a little bit too autobiographical, but I've also got some fun other ones. We met, by the way, at Film Ring, the Kung Fu Edit thing. I had a couple of recommendations for you at the end of the evening that you seemed into at the time, but I don't think you checked out.
I don't remember that conversation. I think I checked out.
It was a documentary called "Shut Up, Little Man." I don't know if you remember that.
Is that the one where the family raise, they pretend they're wolves?
No. It's the one because I know that you're a fan of sort of these found audio film, like the Buddy Rich tape and the Paul Anka tape.
Yeah.
And it's the story of these two guys who moved into an apartment in San Francisco.
Next door something was going on.
Yeah, in the mid-'80s, and they moved into this apartment. There was these two guys living next door that were just constantly yelling at each other, and it was like they were nagging each other like an old married couple, but it was always unclear what their relationship was. One of them was openly gay, one of them was openly homophobic towards the other one, and there was a third guy that was sort of hanging around. sometimes, and they would hang a ski pole out
Can
their
I
window
interrupt
with
you for a
microphone
second with some breaking news?
Sure.
I'm now being followed by @DavidBowieReal, the official David Bowie Twitter feed that has 862,000 followers. Now, I've taken on some followers recently that have had like 260,000 followers, and then you go and you look and they go, oh, they're following 270,000 people, so I'm not impressed. David Bowie Real, 862,000 followers, following 298. That is something special. That is something special.
Congratulations.
I'm gonna hang on a second. Thanks for the follow. Suck it up, you see. You might get free stuff. Now I'm not at the BBC. I can tout for free stuff, so you never know.
Sorry, go ahead.
You can have a golden ticket. But hang on a minute. Are you? Sure. I've got to do a checklist. Mm-hmm. Are you a member of ISIS?
I'm going to say no.
Yeah, you can have the golden ticket. Brilliant. That's fine. That's fine. That's the screening process. The screening process done. We don't want any of them coming along.
And are you open to? Like I said, I'll bring along the record that has some personal meaning. Are you open to me bringing along some other silly records?
Listen, bring along whatever you want. We might play them. We might not play them. I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know we've got 4 hours of radio to fill. This show barely fills 3. If we took all the good bits out of this show and put it together, it would be 45 minutes. And that's including the adverts. So,
that sounds great.
So, yeah. But now, hang on a minute. You need to be able to get here. Do you drive? Are you driving?
No, but I'm in Kilburn. I can bus it back or walk it back. Or
bus it. It's going to be New Year's morning, you muppet.
I like long walks.
You're going to get murdered. Honestly, we are based in the absolute arse end of London. You will get murdered here.
It will be fine. It's Waterloo, right? The tube. I mean, no, it's not going to be a problem.
All right. Honestly, when me and Kath we go, and if anyone dies as a result of being on this show, that's tough. Literally, that is tough.
I'll make it back, I'm sure.
Okay, Danny. Well, we'll see you on New Year's Eve. Thank you very much indeed. We should be keeping... have you got a list of all the people, Catherine, and all their contact details? Excellent stuff. Let's go to a break.
Unmissable late-night radio with the original king of unconventional conversation.
Make contact with Iain.
Late Night Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
Chris, is it working now?
It is. You no longer sound like Stephen Hawking.
There we go, you see. We've exorcised the ghost. It may have been the ghost of the late David Bowie. We just don't know. And until we have conclusive proof one way or the other, we're going to say it was.
Well, the name that I heard being mentioned was Trevor Morley. When I started doing search as to which radio show Trevor Morley does at this time of night. And the only one that I found is somewhere in New Zealand.
Here we go.
What are the chances of that, hey?
Well, here we go, Chris. Trevor Morley died 10 years ago this very night. How freaky deaky is that, my friend? That is proper terrifying.
That's Scooby-Doo and Shaggy and all that sort of stuff.
Isn't it?
Spooky, isn't it, really?
Isn't it? Getting stoned in the mystery machine. Chris, what have you got for us now? It better be good after all this.
Can I turn it a little bit serious?
Yeah, sure. I'll get rid of the Halloween music. Let me get rid of the Halloween. Yes, go on then.
All right. I asked this question from a point of experience because it's something that's happening to me at the moment.
Yes.
Okay. Had an urgent referral for a mental health assessment.
Yes.
And for long-standing reasons with the trust in question, I want to record the assessment.
Okay.
There have been factual inaccuracies in my medical records and breaches of confidentiality, and it all got litigious, and I ended up winning.
Yeah.
And they have cancelled my appointment for an urgent referral on the basis that I want to record that assessment.
Oh. Why don't they want it recorded?
Well, they say it's trust policy, and so the natural thing for me to do, and the thing that I did do, was to ask them for a copy of their trust policy, their policy document, which they cannot and will not provide, and we all know why they cannot and will not provide it. That's because there isn't one.
And why are you so keen that you do want it recorded? What are you worried will happen if you do not have recorded evidence of what was said?
Well, your medical records can be considered in some circumstances a legal record.
Yeah.
Yeah. My medical records state that I am married with a wife. I've never been married and don't have a wife.
What?
And there's a whole...
Hang on a minute. Now, you said it was for mental health.
Yeah.
How mental is it? Because maybe you do have a wife, Chris, and you've forgotten.
I've actually asked all the people that I've known for many, many years if they remember me ever coming to my wedding, and I contacted the Government Records Office at a cost of £23.45 for each 3 years.
So why have they got you down as married?
There's a whole series of inaccuracies. Sorry, I can't say lies. Inaccuracies in my medical records. And because of all this, the only way, rather than playing the he said, she said game, and we both make written notes, is let's just record it. They can record it as well.
Have they taken off your record the bit about you being married now?
They're still on there. What they've done, the most they'll do is put an addendum onto my notes.
Saying?
Well, they haven't provided me with a copy, but presumably it's going to say that I disagree with the entry of such and such a date which states that I'm married. Because I disagree that I'm married.
Yeah.
Can
I ask you what the mental health problem is that you are seeking help with?
I don't think it's probably been diagnosed yet. This is an ongoing issue, and the trust itself has been a major contributor to it over the last 2 years and 9 months.
Yeah. Gosh.
I don't know how much you know about the Data Protection Act, but Section 36 exempts me from it as not being a data controller. If you're going to record somebody, as a data controller, like a company or organisation, you would inform them. Hence, you
Can you not, instead of recording it, can you not take a friend with you?
They wouldn't want to without that sort of assessment. I would have to be deemed that the legal term for that, if I was mentally incapacitated, would be a next friend.
No. You can take a friend into a medical assessment with you. Of course you can.
Well, they would be even less keen on that taking place.
Well, have you asked them?
No, I don't. I don't want that to happen. I want the recording. It is a definitive proof of what was said.
But is there not a possibility that you are making things more difficult for yourself than you need to by sticking to this recording point when there are perhaps other options you could investigate?
No, because I am enabled under the law to do it covertly. But they're saying I can't do it openly. Now think about that. You're allowed to do it covertly, but I'm not allowed to do it
overtly. You're allowed to do it? Who says I didn't think you were allowed to record things covertly unless it's public interest.
If you're... So, Talk Radio's got you're part Global, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah,
we're News Corps now.
News Corps, my
UTV and then News Corps.
Sorry, my apologies. You will be a data controller.
Right.
And Section 30, Data Protection Act applies to you. It doesn't apply to me as an individual.
You're not allowed to record people secretly.
Yes, you are.
No, you're not.
Yeah, you are.
No, Chris.
No,
You're not allowed.
I assure you. I promise you. Happy to make a bet on this, mate. Happy to make a bet. I promise you, Section 36 of the Data Protection Act would allow you to covertly record a conversation as long as you are present for the duration of that conversation, and you're doing it for personal reasons, individual reasons. You're not going to do anything sort of nefarious or mischievous with it. You can't use it in litigation, and you do not require the consent.
Why are you making it more difficult for yourself than you need to? They don't want to record it, so either take them to the ombudsman or whoever that may be, or take a friend with you, which you are allowed to do. You are allowed to have a friend in any medical examination. It sounds like, Chris, you're just trying to make problems for yourself when actually you don't need to.
No, because the inaccuracies that have appeared in my
Well, then take someone with you.
Well, the inaccuracies that appeared in my medical records before have caused problems further down the line. So what better than to have an absolute...
I'll tell you what would be better, having a friend there with you.
But then it simply becomes a case of he said, she said again, as opposed to, well, let's all have a copy of the recording.
And the friend can take notes.
Again, it's just a written record, isn't it? And it'll be up against
But if
their
they're not
written
going to let you do it, either do it covertly then if you want to.
Well, yes, that would be the option. But if they thought, they've cancelled my urgent referral.
Because it sounds like you're being a pain in the arse. If I'm completely honest, it does. If you think you're allowed to record it covertly, and I don't, you seem to know it better than me. I don't think that's the case, but you claim it is. Well, then just go and record it covertly.
Well, yeah. Now I've said to them overtly that I want to record it. They're all getting rather twitchy. Cancelled an urgent referral. Had an urgent referral for today at 2, or yesterday now, Wednesday.
Well, why was it urgent? Why was it urgent? What, they worried you're going to kill yourself or what?
They were concerned.
Right.
My GP has concerns.
Are you sure that's the only reason that they've cancelled it? And maybe not because it's just like busy because it's Christmas?
Absolutely. They want to find out. They want to check the law, and they've told me it is trust policy. Okay. At which point I said, OK, if it's trust policy, let's have a copy of the policy document then, which should be freely available.
Yeah, it
it's
does
not a controlled document.
But, Chris, it does sound like... I want you to get the help that you need to get, right? And it sounds to me... And we've spoken for 10 minutes. I don't know what's going on. But it does sound to me like you're being quite argumentative.
I have reasons to be this way. But
yeah, of course.
Over the last nearly 3 years.
I can understand that. But you can also... Then you can understand, perhaps, that why they would be reluctant to deal with someone who's being argumentative. I don't know. I still don't understand the married thing. I mean, that's just weird. Surely you can get it taken off your record that you're married if you've never been married.
No, the most that they were prepared to do is put an addendum on my notes which state that I disagree with the date, with an entry of such and such a date, which states that.
Oh, well.
As opposed to delete what is factually inaccurate.
What you believe to be factually inaccurate?
No, what is factually inaccurate?
Well, no, what you believe to be factually inaccurate.
I know I've never been married.
You believe you've never been married?
No. Don't go down this line. I know I haven't.
No. I believe I have been married. But, I don't know. You believe that you haven't been married?
I am absolutely sure I haven't been married.
Okay, well then they're not sure, and for whatever reason that may be, and they obviously don't want to make any mistakes again, so they're going to do things as much by the book as they have to.
Oh, if only that had been the case, and it hasn't. Because if that was the case, then they wouldn't have breached confidentiality. The fourth principle of the Data Protection Act states the medical records should be accurate and wherever possible up to date.
Well, then take them to court and get the records changed. I'm so confused by this.
It seems like it's the efforts on me, the expense.
Well, yeah,
it's mine, isn't it?
Well, it is. It is. If you're not going to be able to move forward unless you give a little bit of flexibility. So if I know what I'm saying, I'm really sorry. Of course, I'm not going to record it. But then you've got a recorder in your pocket. I don't think that's legal, but you seem to think that is. Or take a mate with you.
It is absolutely, and it's
well, then do it.
Useful for people to know this.
Well, then, hang on a minute. No, Chris, hang on a minute. I'm not having you giving out legal advice.
It's not legal advice.
Okay, this is what you believe to be the case. I dispute this a lot. I don't think you're allowed to record people secretly.
Section 36, Data Protection Act in.
Well, Chris, that's what you're saying, but I have to cover myself that I don't think it's legal, and people will make up their own minds when they... but I'm saying I don't think it's legal to secretly record people.
Okay.
But you're going to have to be a little bit flexible, otherwise they're not going to see you.
Well, I think the trust is going to find itself on the in a whole lot of trouble if this if this goes. But I would urge people, if they are, the Information Commissioner's Office are the guardians of 3 acts: freedom of information, data protection, and new one which I can't remember. If there are any doubts about this, whether or not you can covertly,
I don't know what was the point of the call. It's a fascinating story, but I wondered what you were hoping it would achieve.
Would you ever foresee the situation or consider the situation where you would record a meeting with your GP? Would you do it? Would you? The fact that I feel I need to should demonstrate the level of distrust that takes place.
No, I'd take a friend with me.
Would you?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I know. I totally would take a friend with me. Just in case my mental capacity was so skewed that I wouldn't believe that I would misinterpret what I'd heard said to me and what I heard on the recording. I'd take someone with me who could we could discuss it afterwards and discuss the meaning of what was said. Okay, so let's give you the example. If your neighbour was an oncology nurse, okay, she was a cancer specialist nurse. Yes. Okay, and you had a meeting at the oncology department. Yes. And you decided to record the conversation because I'm not recording it. I'm taking a friend. Okay, you're taking a friend, but let's say this is the person. Why not record the conversation, take it back to your neighbour and your good friend who you've known for 10, 15 years, and the friend who came with me could ask questions that perhaps the shock of me speaking to an oncologist I would forget to ask. Okay, no, I would want it. You'd want to record it. Chris, we're at the end of the show, mate. I'm sorry. Ken, I'm sorry we didn't get time to speak to you. I don't know. That was an unusual ending to the show, wasn't it? Thank you, Chris. Sorry, Ken. I do apologise. That went on a little bit longer than I was expecting. Thank you, Edward. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, dear listener. Thank you, everybody who calls in, everybody who listens, people watching on the Facebook page. It is much appreciated. 2 more shows to go, and then it's Christmas. Who'd have thought? The 2 mics are up next until tonight at 10. Ta-ta.
Christmas on Talk Radio.
I bid ye good tidings. Talk Radio. Ho, ho, ho! We'll get you talking.